So both of you are pinned, sir.
Okay, perfect. So like we haven't admitted. Let's admit them. Hello everyone.
The meeting is live.
Perfect. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes, good evening. How is everybody?
Good, sir.
Perfect. How was your last paper?
Sir, chemistry was very much helpful, sir, truly.
That's good. Anybody expecting 40 on 40? Hello. Anyone is expecting 40?
So can you please give the rename option, please?
It would be done. Do not worry. I'll just do it. Check. Can you rename yourself now?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Guys, how was your chemistry paper? Come on, fast. We are already live on YouTube.
It was good, sir. The MCQ part was tricky.
Only MCQ was tricky.
Yeah, the written part I personally did well.
Okay. Shreyanshi, what about you? Shreyanshi?
Yes.
Achha, no issues. Let it be. What about like if anything came in like from the most likely board questions that we did?
Good morning, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Sorry.
Like anything came in from the likely board questions that we did?
Yes, sir. It came in chemistry.
Okay. Chalo. So now today we are here for most likely board questions of biology. Everybody knows like we have got our stalwart teacher, Mr. Denziano Rodrigues. He holds a huge experience, like more than a decade experience into this subject. Also, he is so technically sound, so he knows in and out about the subject. Also at micro topical level. So what I suggest you is just let the sir complete the topic, whatever he might be teaching. It be related to the chapters that are coming into the or by means of like the most likely board questions that we are going to discuss with you. However, it is keep your doubt restrained unless and until the topic get over and until your doubt persists, then I'll ask like students who are there on the YouTube, you can join the meeting. There is like 25 spots remaining over there. And still, if you are not able to join the meeting, stay there on the YouTube and watch it live. Denzi sir, anything from your end?
No, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, perfect. So, sir, all yours. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All the best for the session and all the best for your exam. Okay. Anything like any doubts from students and or rather we'll start with the session then?
Yes, sir. You can proceed.
Yes, tell
Right.
me.
There are.
Rough app is not opening.
Roughbox app is not opening. Perfect. So what you do is Mira, right? Mira, just send us a message or ping us on 915-295-8335. Okay, and we'll be able to address that. Anything else? It's not resolved from when it is happening. Mira, is it happening only with Mira or anybody here who is facing difficulties while opening the Roughbox application?
Not with me, sir.
Anyone facing difficulties in the Roughbox application?
No, sir.
Perfect. Mira, what I'll suggest you, the device you might be using, just try uninstalling the app and reinstall it. And I hope if like there are issues, ping me back. I'll be able to solve your query. Anything else apart from this? Any doubts to be cleared or we are good to go with the session then?
We are good to go.
Perfect. Chalo, all the best. Denji sir, all yours.
Thank you, Samir. All right. Very good evening to all of y'all. I hope this session helps you all when cracking the biology question bank, whatever I have with me, and will help you to resolve and solve maximum questions and all your doubts Okay, but before we move on to going and solving all the most likely questions, I would like to share in the scope. Okay, there are most of the students are just studying which are not in the scope. So I hope you know the scope, what is given by the council in and out. So that's very important. So I would like to share the scope with you all before we move on to the topic, just to
Sir,
make, yes.
sorry to interrupt, sir. If you could just say what are the important items that could be asked to draw.
Yes, everything I will tell you topic wise. Okay, every topic. If I'm talking about circulatory system, I'll tell you all the different important questions and the diagrams related to it. So very
Okay.
much as given by the council, you can see very much clearly the circulatory system. We need to know with regards to the blood, lymph, structure and working of the heart, blood vessels, and very careful read the circulation, only the names of the blood vessels entering and leaving of the heart. Okay, no more additional questions with regards to that. Composition of the blood, that is the structure and function of WBC, RBC, and platelets. Now there are some questions which are coming that if we do this most likely questions, then are we ready and prepared? Yeah, you will be 80-90% ready with your bio, but be very careful. There are as you already told me, section A is quite tricky. The tricky part is basically what I have noticed and analyzed with regards to various questions is it is pulled from those colored boxes from your ICSE, where you are Selena publication textbook. If you're using that, it is pulled out from those tiny nooks and corners from there. All right. So basically you need to be reading all those small colored boxes which give you information over there. And I'll also highlight also during the, when we are moving on during the question answers, which part you need to emphasize on. All right. So here we just talk about all the different types of blood cells, the tissue fluids, in increase in efficiency of certain organelles, reason for the same, blood coagulation, that's a blood clotting. Okay, structure and functioning of the heart, blood vessels, okay, liver, kidney. Once again, the systole and diastolic double circulation, the pulse, blood pressure. So I'm emphasizing, emphasizing on these questions. Okay, these keywords, which is very important. We need to emphasize on this. I'm going to talk about even the analysis which I've done of the council send bio sample paper also. If you have noticed, and I'll tell you which topics you need to emphasize more on. All right. So we have arteries, veins, capillaries, diagrams, very important in these, especially for these blood vessels. Okay. A lymphatic organ, spleen, tonsils, blood group system, and the hepatic portal system. In the excretory system, you need to be focusing on the structure and function of the kidney, the nephron, okay, different excretory organs, external and internal structure of the kidney, parts of the urinary system.
Sir?
Yes.
So in the circulatory chapter, the valves and the pacemaker and the sound which is produced, that lub and dub is not going to the syllabus. So do we need to do?
We are saying lub and dub. Why not lub? We have the systolic and diastolic thing, no?
So no, the valves and pacemaker also the topic.
They have not mentioned over here, right?
Yes, they haven't.
I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. Okay, when we are talking in that, let's analyze the sample paper and also tell you with regards to that too. Okay, correct labeling of the diagram, very important. You need to know the Malpighian capsule. Okay, how to draw them, the nephron. Okay, that's the first part. You can talk about that. Correct labeling, and sometimes this the small noobs. The tricky part is the images can be flipped. Okay, so you need to be very careful in analyzing and going through the questions and the images very carefully. The different types of the micturition process, that is ultrafiltration, reabsorption, selective reabsorption, and tubular secretion. These are the important parts over there. All right. So we'll talk. Yes, see emphasis on the diagram of the Malpighian capsule. If you notice, this is the thing where most of the questions are asked over here, either to draw or to label the parts. All right. Nervous system, structure of the neuron, everything regarding to peripheral nervous system, the reflex action and how it differs from voluntary action, sense organ, the eye, structure, function, defects.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Okay, and corrective measures. See, remember corrective measures. These are important parts that we need to focus on. Ear parts and function of the ears. Once again, nervous system, neuron, diagram, okay, labeling, the different parts of the brain, okay, the hypothalamus, pons varolii, the cerebellum, cerebrum, medulla oblongata, all these are the important, the functions, various parts, internal, external brain parts, primary parts we're talking about, and the distribution of the white and gray matter with regards to the brain and spinal cord. Mostly asked questions in regards to that. Okay, once again, we go to the
So,
yes.
do we need to know about all the different lobes of the brain, like the occipital, temporal? Like, is that important?
I'm coming to that, Shreyansi. I'll come to that because it comes a part of the primary part. So we'll talk with regards to that because everything is emphasized over here. So we need to know that too. Okay. Voluntary and involuntary action. You need to know what's the different examples with regard to that. The diagram of the reflex arc and the pathway showing the receptor and effector. You need to even draw the flow chart with regards to that. All the peripheral and autonomic nervous system, differences between natural and acquired reflexes, external and internal structure of the eye, ear, and various parts, the stereoscopic vision, adaptation and accommodation of the eye, and the defects of the eye. That's all the various defects. These are the mostly and most probably going to be asked questions with regards to, including myopia and hyperopia. Okay, courses of perception for sound in human ears, and the role of ear in maintaining balance of the body. That's all about nervous system and sense organ. And the final is the endocrine system, okay, which we talks about the adrenal, thyroid, and all the different gland. You need to know the difference between endocrine, exocrine, location of each and every gland, hormones secreted by each and every gland. Okay, don't go out of scope. Okay, do not go out of scope. Pranjal, just a minute, just let me go through this. Adrenal gland, cortical hormones, adrenaline, pituitary, and all these which are mentioned over here. You need to know the full form of all the various hormones which are listed over here. Okay, the GTH, the hyper and hypo secretion of each and every hormone. Yes. Anyone which have any questions with regard? Yes, Pranjal.
So I had two questions. I would ask it very quickly.
Yes, please.
So first is what all diagrams can we expect in the examination to draw, and the second is if some conceptual questions would come rather than the straightforward questions, how to tackle these questions with the appropriate keywords so that we would get the complete marks.
Sure. I'll be talking about that. Anyone ask any other question? Yes, someone has raised the hand. Amita?
Yes, sir. I had two questions as well.
Yes, please.
Could you please explain the difference between carboxyhemoglobin and carbaminohemoglobin?
All right, sure. And definitely I'll go through that. We'll go chapter wise too. Okay, now I just did the analysis. Yes, dear.
Sir, I have a doubt in diastolic and systolic system of the heart.
Okay. Just keep your questions. All your questions I will answer. Don't worry. I will not keep anyone over here dangling. I will answer each and every one of your questions. Okay. Just let me just go through this and I'll just tell you what you need and what you need to know in this particular thing. All right. Now, if you notice, I have gone through the entire sample paper and various other papers also. This is the SEM2 sample paper by the ICSE. And these are the type of, if you notice, I have put every question answered which related to which chapter. So if you notice, circulatory system, nervous, endocrine, nervous, excretory, nervous, endocrine, nervous, sense organ. So you see over here, hardly anything much is asked about circulatory, but in the section B, you will see more of the circulatory asked over here. Okay, so over here only you can see nervous and endocrine and excretory asked in most of the question. Okay, I'll share this entire analysis with you all. All right. In the section B, if you notice in the 10-mark question, we have endocrine, circulatory, sense organ. So one sense organ of the eye, one sense organ of the ear, and excretory diagram they are asked. So when I'm talking about the eye, I'm talking about the corrective measures of the eye diagram. Okay, so that's where we need to focus, whether it's hyperopia or it's myopia. You need to know the corrective measure by drawing the lens, proper lens with regards to the defect of the eye. Okay, I'm going to share with you all most of the questions with regards to those. If you notice, question number 3 has more of 2 circulatory, that's 4 marks. Circulatory over here again 2 marks, and circulatory over here also in 2 and 3, 5 marks. So you see, circulatory has given more importance in the section B, section B. And we see sense organ 1 question, that's 3 marks. Excretory 1 question, 3 marks. And yeah, so mostly sense organ and excretory asked in the 3 marks. Endocrine also will be in 3 marks. So notice how the bifurcation of marks are given with regards to the specimen paper shared by the council.
Sir, they will follow this exact pattern
No,
of
they will not follow, but I'm just telling you, you can easily analyze this and know which chapter you need to emphasize more on.
Okay.
Okay, so if you notice, if you can club up the marking
So circulatory is that chapter, sir.
Yes, yes. The circulatory is there. Endocrine, if you see endocrine here 5 marks, excretory here 6 marks, and endocrine again here 2 marks.
So there is no nervous system.
Pardon?
So they did not take any questions from nervous.
The nervous is not there, but sense organ is put over here. Nervous, you don't see nervous.
So nervous system, more and more questions were there in objectives.
Yes, if you see here, we'll see more of nervous system, nervous system, nervous system. Here also nervous system. So there are then more an objective question. They can put a reflex arc question over here. That's most commonly asked question in the nervous system or the brain.
Part of the reflex arc.
Yes, the entire
Sir,
part
and
of
we
the
have to describe that also, that receptor, then sensory neuron. We have to describe also.
Absolutely, absolutely. You need to take it. Okay. Pranjal, you have any other question? Your hands is raised. Okay.
No,
Yes, Vihan, you have any questions?
Sir, if we are able to answer the sheet that you are providing, then
Yes.
does that mean that we are ready for tomorrow's exam?
Yeah, I'm saying it will be almost 70 to 80% you're ready. There are different ways you can, I'll tell you how to tackle with different types of questions also when it comes to these. So, and in which part and nook of the textbook you need to more focus on if you want to get your, there are some questions. Now, there's one simple question. I don't know if most of you all will know this. In the circulatory system, okay, why is the animal with small body size having faster heartbeat?
Sir, volume ratio.
Yes,
So to higher metabolic
ratio.
activity.
In order to
very good.
compensate for the
metabolic
loss.
activity.
Very good. Okay. Now
Surface area to volume ratio.
very good. So the more surface area, you'll have the slower heartbeat, and smaller surface area, you'll have the faster. But also if you look in children also the heartbeat is faster in young children.
Higher metabolism.
High metabolic rate, right? All right. One more question. What do you understand by the term collateral?
Side branches of
Very good, very good. So they are side branches from the axon. Right. So there are some small parts, and I will go to chapter wise also. So let me share first the first part of this we are going to do with the section A part of this. All right. So section A part, very clear. I just put in some questions from various parts. Okay. With regards to all the things. So let's answer the questions one by one. If you want to, please raise your hand and someone can just start off. And why did you select the answer also? We'll do that. Or yes, Ashwarya.
Sir.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes, dear.
Will the diagram of the reflex arc be asked for drawing?
The diagram of the reflex arc, no. But you will be asked both
flow chart.
Yes, the flow chart. Absolutely right.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, we have some diagrams, right, for ear internal, the structure of ear, the structure of eye, heart. This my diagrams can come for means draw the diagram or for the
labeling.
Sir, is there any marks deduction?
Just give me 1 minute, dear. Yes, dear. Yes.
Sir, is
tell me.
is there any mark deduction in incorrect spellings?
Yeah, incorrect spellings. Okay, so that can be a waiver in regards to that, but not totally. If see 1, 2 alphabets here and there, it's just ignored. But if you are totally out of the pronunciation of the word, then definitely you will lose marks in that.
So will hard diagram will be come to draw for? Means
No,
to
dear.
draw
No
the hard
one will
diagram.
give you a hard diagram to draw.
And for brain?
Not even brain.
Means they will come for the
Labeling
diagram.
part. Yes.
Sir, the
And
neuron structure
spinal
of
cord?
neuron.
Structure of the neuron, yes, that can be a
And
part
sir,
of it.
Ear
Spinal
and
cord?
eye. Structure of ear and eye.
The structure of the ear and eye, see, in the eye, you will not be asked to draw the entire eye, but you will be asked to do the corrective measures of a defective eye, which is shown to you. I'm going to
Yeah,
call those.
right. Myopia and hyperpia, no?
Hyperopia, myopia,
Hyperopia.
definitely.
Presbyopia.
Presbyopia.
Corrective measures of
Just stick to the
presbyopia
textbook.
diagram is not there, sir.
Stick to the textbook. Absolutely. Stick to the textbook, and you will definitely get. You will not. They will not go to give you presbyopia, astigmatism, all these things. They won't
They
go
are
to that
in
extent.
syllabus, no, sir.
Yes, yes. Stick to the syllabus. Okay. If those are not given, then don't go for those.
So, can cochlear canals come? The diagram of cochlear canals, the vestibular and the median and the tympanial canal, all cochlear canal diagram that would come or not?
Yes, yes. Why not? That diagram
organs
can be
of
asked for
40.
you. Yeah, that diagram can be
Or
asked
labeling.
for you in labeling.
So structure of kidney might come for drawing the diagram.
Yes, structure of kidney.
Malpighian
Yes.
body might come.
Malpighian body, nephron, and kidney. They may give you to label some parts if they want to. Okay, just
Most of the diagram will come for labeling.
no, not the
I
whole.
think they will give nephron structure to label.
Yeah.
Either
Actually, sir, the
nephron or a
marks
neuron.
is deducted on the beauty or the event, the marks on the marking.
The marking system they're talking about.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I'm coming to that. Just let me share with you the first segment of this questions. Okay. Just give me a minute. Just let me pull out the question paper.
So means most of the diagrams will be there for labeling as compared to for drawing.
So there is necessary that the diagram is beautiful or
beautiful. Yes, you need to be a little more clear with your diagram. Do not draw a microscopic diagram that the teacher finds it difficult to analyze.
no, sir, I label it correctly, but my diagram is not so much good.
Okay. Okay. Don't worry.
Sir, may you please tell the reasoning question from each of the chapters?
Yes. I'm just going to share with you all first. Let me share with you all the most likely question.
Topics like pulse and blood pressure are important or not?
Why not? It is pulse, yes. Blood pressure, it will be asked in the MCQ, in your mostly section A. Okay, not
and
in the
definitions like means
Topics which we can't ignore.
can't ignore. Okay. First, let us go through the question bank, and then we'll see what we can. All right. So let's start off with at least doing that part first. All right. So I'll just share this first part with you all. All right. So looking at these questions, we have the impulse which starts the heartbeat arise in.
SAS.
Can anyone tell me what is the full form? This can come as a full form.
Atrial node.
Atrial node. Please remember, yes, the spellings do matter. Okay. Okay, so that's right. The answer. The enzyme present in
Lysosome.
Lysozyme.
Okay, so I'll ask just one person at a time, so you can just answer instead of all of us talking together. So this goes to Atharva. One of the following responsible to control the body temperature.
medulla oblongata.
Very good.
Hypothalamus.
What is it? Hypothalamus. Okay, hypothalamus basically controls. This is having in the 9th standard also. You all had the same thing. All right. the function of the hormone glucagon is by
Sir,
Accelerate the
answer number
conversion of
B.
glycogen
Accelerate the conversion of
into
glycogen
glucose.
into
Glycogen into glucose.
Glucose.
Tell me A, B, C, or D.
B, B,
B.
B
B
option.
option.
B option. B.
B for ball.
Yes, B for ball. The function of glucagon. Glucagon basically converts your glycogen to glucose. All right. Yeah. Let's see some more questions. Which among the following is incorrect about lymph?
Lymph contain red blood cells.
Very
Is
good.
incorrect.
This is an incorrect statement. Lymph is colorless. Lymph carries digestive tract of intestine. Okay. Lymph also supplies nutrition. Can you tell me some more points with regards to lymph?
Lymph
Produces leukocytes. Contains leukocytes.
Produce
lymphocytes and monocytes.
Sir, lymphocytes and monocytes lymph function as a defender of the
Helps
body.
to
Very good.
They defend the body.
Great.
antibodies.
Absorption.
So let's see from Keith. Keith, in human, urea is produced in
liver.
liver. Which part of the ear is responsible for
Organ of Corti.
Organs of Corti.
organs of Corti or Corti? Okay, where is this located? Organ of
It is
Corti?
located in the basilar membrane.
The basilar membrane.
Yeah,
In
in
the-
the which canal?
What is the answer for the lymph?
Canal.
Median canal.
A good
Membrane.
question that can be asked over here with regards to the diagram of this in inner ear. Okay, they will give you this entire inner ear small diagram. They may ask you the labelings with regards to that part. Okay, the membrane is labyrinth.
Sir,
Yes.
excuse me, sir. Sir, if there is a question asked like in ear part, where the sensory cells are located,
Okay.
then we answer basilar membrane or the.
So here it depends on what type of basilar membrane is the location where you'll find the organ of Corti. It's on the membrane, right?
But
So
in our concise, sir, they have given that basal membrane in which the sensory
Yes,
cells are
sir.
located.
So this
Yes,
question
Yes, someone.
Someone mic is
Mic.
Yes,
is
some sound is coming.
Yeah. All right.
So
Yes.
So the student who asked that about the sensory cells,
Yes.
that question must be incomplete. No, sir, because the sensory cells are located in the macule and cupula also, no?
But in our concise, they have given.
In your concise, have they given that?
But sir, in S-Chand, it is given that sensory hair cells are also present in macula and cupule.
Yes, sir, it is present in ventriculus and sacculus even.
Yes.
Yeah. So this question must be incomplete, no?
But what is the when you're looking at sacculus and ventriculus, you're talking about hearing or you're talking about balancing over there?
Hearing.
Balancing. Hearing is the organs of Corti.
Yes.
Yeah, hearing is for organ of Corti.
Right. Okay, so we need to keep that balancing part and the hearing part in membrane. Okay, so we have
Sir,
the
if in this
yes
in the concise book, if we see the diagram which is present there,
correct,
we can see that part which is labeled as organ of Corti.
Okay,
it is written below that it includes sensory.
Someone is disturbing.
So Kunal, there is too much disturbance. Kunal,
please. Yeah, thank you, dear. Yeah, tell me. Yeah, in your textbook, in your concise, they have given organ of Corti which include the sensory hair cells, right?
Yes, sir. So it would be basilar membrane.
The basilar membrane.
So the location is basilar membrane.
Yes.
Of the median canal of cochlea.
Correct.
Sir, can you repeat the answer for the lymph one question?
Sir, there in concise also given the sensory cells lie on the basilar membrane.
Yeah, they lie on the basilar membrane, right?
Basilar membrane.
Sir,
Sir, it is not given clearly in the
some
statement.
students in this meeting said that S. Chand has given the which book we have to follow.
So we are following the Selena.
Selena concept.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, dear.
So, but in the S-Chand book, it is given more precisely about the functions and all. Means it is given point to point that this is the proper function.
So, but ICSE basically
but
follows
ICSE
Selena
basically
na.
for concise.
Yes.
Concise Selena for all the signs.
For
So
most
if
of
the-
the science, it is Selena, dear. Okay,
for
but we'll
sensory-
keep that.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Follow the concise, stick to that. Most of the questions you can see right from here is from the concise itself. Okay, let's come to
Can you
the
repeat the lymph answer, sir, please?
which dear, which one? This one?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so basically we know the various correct answer for the
B,
lymph is
no?
colorless,
B, sir.
but it does not have red blood cells. So that's
Yes, sir.
correct
Yes.
statement.
B, sir. B.
Right. The valves between the left
Mitral
ventricle and
valve.
left
The mitral
ventricle.
valve.
Mitral valve.
The mitral valve. Very good. Or it can be also the bicuspid.
Bicuspid valve.
Is there any other name I can use for this valve?
Bicuspid valve.
Bicuspid, another
Bicuspid
name.
and mitral.
Another name. Left or right?
Atrioventricular valve.
Very good.
Yes.
This is the left or the right atrioventricular valve?
Left atrioventricular valve.
Yes, the left atrioventricular valve. Okay, so there are different names you can be putting over here: bicuspid, mitral, or the left atrioventricular valve. All these things can give you the same answer. All right. Which among the following substances is absent in the glomerular
White
So obviously, any filtration of the blood cells, definitely it's a problem with the nephron.
So I
We
had
do
a
not.
question.
Yes, yeah.
Related to that question only, because in the book it is written the thicker part of the blood left behind in the glomerulus after the ultrafiltration, namely two kind of corpuscles, comma protein and other large molecules. So it does include RBC, WBC and other proteins, or it includes as the corpuscles only?
You are talking about after it goes to the efferent part, right? Efferent.
Yes, sir.
So
After
in the efferent, it will be all your blood cells only, no? The blood cell is still moving over.
RBC, WBCs.
Yes.
RBCs, WBCs and proteins as well.
Correct.
Platelets also.
Platelets also.
And some proteins also are left, no, after filtration in the glomerulus.
And
right?
so in each stage where the amount of substance that is reabsorbed and the distal convoluted tubule, the amount of substance that is then again pushed back into the distal convoluted tubule.
Okay.
So that we have to remember, because it varies along books. So it varies like a hell of a lot. Because in some books, like it is given amino acids, glucose, and in this it is not written that much. So it is necessary to remember.
Correct.
Sir, in Selena, it is only given that in proximal convoluted tubule, more and more amount of water and sodium and chloride ion is reabsorbed.
Yes, sir.
And in loop of Henle, more and more water in sodium ion is reabsorbed. And in distal convoluted tubule,
Ask in such a deep questions.
Not so deep. Yeah, but yes, dear. 1 minute. Yeah, you tell me.
So in our pre-board, there was a question: if the loop of Henle is absent in a nephron, then the solution of urine would be hypertonic or hypotonic.
Loop of Henle basically helps in reabsorption of
Ions, mainly
Water
ions.
and sodium
water
ion.
and sodium
Water and
ion.
sodium ions.
So obviously, we'll have the problem related to those two only.
So what would be the answer?
basically-
Hypertonic or hypotonic?
So if I'm not having what you said, what will be the urine or what will be the blood?
Urine concentration.
Yeah, so urine concentration, if it is not, it will be hyper.
Hypertonic. So,
Yes.
but our teachers told that the correct answer would be hypotonic.
Why hyper? Because water is not getting reabsorbed, nah? Water is
So
also not going to
water,
get.
so water
If the
is
nephron only
absorbed.
part is not there, water is not getting reabsorbed, so the urine will be more hypotonic. So water will be going out from the urine more. So it will be a hypotonic solution.
Sir, answer would be hypotonic.
Hypo, more water.
Yeah, hypotonic.
Correct.
Okay, sir.
Excuse me, sir, even I had a similar question like this only.
Yes.
Which of the following is true? A, urine is hypotonic in the distal convoluted tubule. B, when urine passes into collecting tubule, becomes hypotonic. C, urine is isotonic in the proximal convoluted tubule. Or D, urine becomes more and more hypotonic as it passes through Henle's loop, sir.
When it passes through the Henle's loop and when it reaches the DCT, it becomes more of hypertonic. It loses more water and it becomes more hypertonic.
Sir, but where is this given?
No, it is an analysis to understand when the water
But
is
is it given in
reabsorbing. Your urine concentration also becomes.
Sir, it is this hypotonic and this are in osmosis part.
Yeah, it is osmosis, but it is very much when we talk about hyper and hypo, we are talking of salt and solutes itself, right? solvent and solutes. So it just very much based on that understanding.
This type of question can counsel us.
Not
I
always.
mean, my question only that in the absence of loop of Henel, sir, the water is being absorbed in the PCT also, no? More
Maximum
and more
PCT,
water.
yes.
Yeah. So, sir, how would be the solution hypotonic?
Yeah. So when you're talking a PCT absorbs maximum water, right?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, almost 2/3 of the water. What about the other? When it goes to the loop of Henle.
So means more of the water is being absorbed in comparison. So, sir, the solution should be hypertonic, no?
But sir, they are asking relatively.
They're just asking you if you remove that part, which is also a part in the reabsorption of water. Okay, because the loop of Henle goes into the medulla region, which goes a loop, right? It has a descending loop and the ascending loop. So both of them do play an important role, right?
Yeah, sir.
So keep it in that hypotonic itself.
Sir, what is that
Because
formation?
if you go to see if that loop is not there only, and if it's not reabsorbing that sodium and water, then how will it reach? If you are saying DCT is there or DCT is not there?
DCT is there.
DCT
Only
is there.
loop of Henel is removed.
So yeah, so you are talking just some part of water getting not reabsorbed and sodium, which is also important by the body. So I think you should be having a hypertonic. If you are talking about PCT and DCT being there, they are the ones which are going to remain reabsorb the water and all. So it will become a hypotonic then. If you are talking about these two parts remaining in the nephron.
And so the glomerular filtrate as such, when it's just entering, then it will be isotonic, or after it goes to PCT?
Exactly. When it just enters into the Bowman's capsule, it is a hypotonic. Means a lot of water with it.
Okay, so then as it goes through, it becomes
Hypotonic, lot of water. Hypertonic does not contain much water.
Correct.
Okay, sir.
The glomerular filtrate keeps on becoming concentrated and concentrated because the water is getting reabsorbed by each and every segment of the nephron. All right, let's move on to this. Which of the following among the eye defect is
Presbyopia.
Presbyopia.
Can anyone tell me what is exactly presbyopia?
The lens is a difficulty in near
Nearsightedness.
With the cornea or the glass with the lens?
Clearly.
Lens loses
Lens loses its flexibility.
Convex lens.
Lens loses its flexibility.
Sir, can you tell?
There are so many people. Yes, a moment.
Loss of flexibility to the lens.
Yes, the flexibility to the lens is the problem. So lens is the one which is
So sir, how does cornea get spoiled?
Cornea, yes, can get wavy. Sometime it can get thinner. It can get defected. It can also get a cut. Cornea can get a problem. So we know astigmatism is related to cornea, right?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Is this the shape of the eyeball?
Yes, the uneven curvature of the
uneven curvature of the cornea.
Correct.
Sir?
Yes, dear.
Sir, do we have night blindness, color blindness?
There are also defects in this, but they are not mentioned over there. They have only given the normal defects with the lens and the parts of the eye, not the deficiency, this thing parts.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
So, but corneal opacity is in wide eye and narrow, wide eye and cross eye.
I'm sorry?
Do we have the feedback on
corneal opacity is wide eye.
It is only mentioned that we are having till presbyopia, astigmatism, presbyopia, myopia, and hyperopia.
Yes, these are the ones which are mentioned in your scope. That's why I started with the scope mentioning these parts. Nothing with other defects. Okay, no squinting, nothing with the vitamin or mineral problem. Yes,
Color blindness and
color blindness is the defect. Yes.
Also, cataract is also present in some questions.
Cataract is a part with the lens.
The lens becomes opaque.
Correct. Sympathetic nervous system is stimulated by the hormone
Adrenaline.
Right? It's always elevating every part in the body. So adrenaline, yes. Blood group without antigen.
O have no antigen.
Correct. O is the right answer. It has no antigen but antibody. WBC, which produces antibody?
Lymphocyte.
Lymphocytes, right. Can
Lymphocytes.
anyone tell me with regards to lymphocyte, what is the structure of the nucleus? Is it lobed or not lobed? Large nucleus.
It is the largest WBC.
Largest nucleus?
Single large nucleus.
Single large nucleus.
Which is the smallest cell?
Monocyte.
Genetic eye defects seen in human
Color blindness. Color blindness.
Just put this over here. There are some papers in most of the in most of the prelim papers. I've noticed that this question have been repeated most of the time. So I just put it just in case. Okay, over here with regards to this thing. Hormone which regulates urine output. Anyone with the full form?
Antidiuretic hormone.
Diuretic hormone, right? Or vasopressin. Right. So any of these two terms can come in. The layer of the eye which prevents light ray from reflecting.
Choroid.
Why did you select choroid? Why?
Melanin. Choroid contains the pigment melanin.
It has a layer of melanin. That's one. That's why it does not reflect, and it's flourished with more of blood vessels.
It does not scattered inside.
Does not. Absolutely right. So which of the following is a conditioned reflex?
Flying brakes.
So you learn this thing. You learn this thing, right? So that is condition. We know we have learned through this
Previous
reflexes.
experiences.
Eustachian tube.
Part of the ear which equalizes.
Eustachian tube.
Eustachian tube. Right.
So please could you scroll up?
Yes.
So I wanted to see one question.
Which one?
Yes, the lymphocytes one.
This is the one which is WBC produces antibodies.
Yes, sir.
Okay, antibodies. Yeah. So yes, come the sheet covering the neural.
Neurolemma.
Anyone?
Neurolemma.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah. Now, if I would remove the neurolemma and put some other thing like if I would put myelin sheath, is that also right? If I would have myelin sheath also and neurolemma, which one would I say?
Neurolemma.
Because the entire axon is covered by the neurolemma.
Right. All right.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes, dear.
Sir, is it neurolemma or
Neurolemma, neurolemma. There are
Both
two
are
spellings for that.
Just remember the link.
So what is the Schwann cell that's mentioned in some diagrams?
Yeah. Anyone who want to tell her what is a Schwann cell? Any idea?
Myelin sheath, I think it is made up.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Your myelin
Has the
sheath, which has a
nucleus.
Very good. It has a nucleus. Basically, it's a nucleus. It's a very sheath which is like rolled up along the axon, which gives that shape of the myelin sheath, and that has a nucleus embedded. It's that is your Schwann cell. Okay, the part of the eye that folds which secrete aqueous humor.
Cornea.
Ciliary body.
Cornea.
Yeah.
So which one?
Ciliary body.
Ciliary body.
Why people with ciliary body and why people with cornea?
Ciliary body folded.
Ciliary body, what it does?
Folds which secrete the aqueous humor.
Okay. And why people said cornea?
Because
it is present between the cornea and the lens, right? That's why you said cornea. Okay, so yeah. Is this mentioned anywhere inside your textbook?
No, not in the Selena.
But I have read it somewhere that it's ciliary body which secrete the aqueous humor.
It is a ciliary body. Ciliary body basically has multiple roles. Can anyone tell me all the four?
It is responsible for the alter the shape of the lens.
Very good.
Contraction of ciliary muscles.
Very good.
Relaxation in the flattened shape. These all only.
Yes. So
now they have given only one.
Yes, for far-sightedness and for nearsightedness.
Correct. So basically, it alters the shape of the lens.
So in Selena only that is mentioned.
Yes.
Sir, if the question
there is a
comes,
question.
Yeah.
In Selena.
all are speaking at the same time. It's very confusing.
Okay.
So there is a question. State the function of the following There is a myelin sheath and medullary sheath, and both are given. Then both are equal, no? Myelin and medullary.
Myelin and medullary sheath is the same thing, but the scientific term is myelin.
But they have given the state of function of the following: myelin and medullary sheath.
Medullary sheath.
The myelin sheath, and both are same.
Insulating covering, sir.
Yeah,
Insulating.
it's just the insulating term. The function is
But
both.
they have given
insulation.
that myelin sheath and medullary sheath state the function of the following.
So as per what we see, myelin sheath or medullary sheath, they are the same thing. You cannot have both the same thing. When they have given the same function.
Sir, can you answer their doubts at the end?
Yes.
We want to really solve the paper.
Cool.
Please, at the end, you can solve all of their doubts.
All right. So let's finish
Yes,
this first
sir.
section A. Excessive dilute urination is caused due to
Decreased vasopressin secretion.
Vasopressin secretion.
Vasopressin
So there
secretion.
is a labeling error over here, A, B, C, D. So it is decreased vasopressin secretion. So when the vasopressin or ADH is secreted low, then yeah, so you'll have no reabsorption in the nephron, causing your urine to be more dilute. Okay, that is more loss of water.
Sir, I have a doubt. Can I ask?
Renal
If
cortex.
related to this
Renal cortex.
If it is related to the same question, then you can say. If it is not, then we'll move on. I'll take all your doubts. Don't worry.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Proximal convoluted tubule.
Renal cortex.
Renal cortex.
Renal cortex. All right. Pulse wave is mainly caused by
Systole of ventricle.
Ventricle. Right artery of ventricle.
Left ventricle or right ventricle?
Right.
Left.
Sir, left.
Left.
Okay. Okay. How many of y'all say C? Raise your hand. How many of y'all say C? Raise your hand. So I have 13, 14, 17, 20. Okay, that goes more. And anyone with D? Anyone with D? Okay, that goes right. Yes, very nice. All right. Some people still raise hand. Okay. So it is starting from the left systole of the left ventricle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go for this. The surface of the erythrocytes, RBC, contains genetically determined antigen called surface of the erythrocyte.
Agglutinogens.
Anyone know what is it? Antigens are also called as. Okay, the antigens basically agglutinogen or antibodies. If you know immunoglobulins. So these are different names given for antigen and antibodies. All right. So just in case, these are not a part, but they are quite weird questions which have been asked somewhere. So I just put it up just in case. Ventral root of the spinal cord contains
Motor neuron.
So we know there's a dorsal and there's a ventral. So ventral is basically taking out, that's a motor neuron. Okay, and dorsal will be having the sensory neuron and the dorsal root ganglion. All right. The condition will result in abnormal thickening of the bone and hand and feet due to
Acromegaly.
So this is which hormone?
Growth hormone.
Growth hormone. Is there a short form for growth hormone? Is it GH or GH?
GH.
Correct. Small G and capital H. All right. A hormone responsible for stimulation.
Oxytocin.
Follicle stimulating hormone.
Follicle stimulating hormone.
It is FSH.
Okay, sir.
Oxytocin is not for ovaries, it is for ovary. Your uterus, basically, that's a contraction of the uterus. It's called a birth hormone.
Yes, sir.
Okay, oxytocin is like a birth hormone during parturition. That is when the child has to come out. That is contraction of the uterus. That time we have the oxytocin that takes place over here. Okay, but the follicles are the one which stimulate the ovaries. Okay. In both male female, the valve which is located in the right yes, the condition characterized by the presence of RBC in the urine.
Hematuria.
Hematuria.
Yeah, so spelling does play an important role. Hematuria. Okay, image of the object is formed in which part of the eye?
Retina.
Very good. Be careful with some people with overexcited, they write iris. Okay, but I've seen that. The overexcitedness.
Iris is the colored part, no?
Yeah, it's a colored part.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. Can you tell me iris consists of which type of muscles?
Radial.
and
circular. Very nice. Very nice.
What is the answer?
It's a retina. Retina is the one having
No, sir.
photosensitive cells.
So you asked now which type of cell series, which type of muscles or cells are
Muscles.
Radial muscle.
Radial.
radiant muscles. Okay, sir.
Okay.
What is the answer for stimulation of ovaries?
It's the follicle stimulating hormone, FSH. Okay. Which of the following is not an involuntary act?
Chewing.
Not an involuntary. Very good. Which gland is in
Pancreas.
Pancreas.
Okay. The which one is a cone-shaped tissue in the larger section? Pyramid. So these are the ones we need to know. Is there something called as renal calculi?
No, sir. Nothing named as this occurs.
Renal calyx.
Yeah. Which nerve originates from the brain?
Cranial.
RH factor in antigen found in which of these cells? Very good. Can you tell me RH factor also called as?
Rhesus factor.
Also which antigen it is?
D antigen.
Antigen D. So I'm just putting all those terms which are very much related to that same answer.
Hypothalamus.
Controlling body temperature, which already had come before. Yes, the disease cataract is caused by the part of the eye.
Internal lens.
The pigmented circular area sits in front of the eye.
Iris.
The part of the brain concerned with
Cerebrum.
Capillary.
Okay, one minute. The muscular wall is absent.
Medulla.
Capillary. Okay, that's right. Loop of Henle lies in the
Medulla.
region.
Dura mater.
Okay, relax. I know you're very fast in answering that. Okay, just.
So these are specimen questions.
Yeah, these are all specimen questions. Most of them specimen questions, they are faster. And these are all asked in different prelim papers of most of the schools paper. So I put them all together because they are so common questions and you'll find them always over here repeating also. Which one of the following is next?
Eating.
Tear gland is also called as
Criminal gland.
Iodine.
Iodine is the right answer for thyroid.
31 pairs.
Is of
Urochrome.
Urochrome is a pigment in the urine.
80 mmHg.
Okay, 80 mm of Hg. All right, let's go for the next region of the eye where the rods and cones.
Retina.
The answer will be same, but the questions are framed in different ways.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which of the following statement is incorrect about double circulation?
It occurs
in all vertebrates. On vertebrates.
It occurs in all vertebrates.
This is an incorrect statement. Yes.
incorrect.
Yeah.
Hyposecretion of cortisol.
Called Addison's disease.
Addison's disease.
Very nice.
Disease.
Yes.
So is it Addison's
Corpus
disease?
callosum.
It must be, I think so, Cushing syndrome, no?
Hyposecretion.
Okay, sir.
Corpus callosum.
Corpus callosum.
Joins the two hemispheres.
Cerebral hemispheres.
If this is a type of question can be asked in location also. Okay, where's the location also?
Ultrafiltration. Sir. Sir.
Where does reabsorption? So where does reabsorption occur?
Okay, just a moment.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, what is the difference between pons and corpus callosum in their function?
Pons varioly and corpus and medulla.
No, sir. Corpus callosum.
Corpus callosum and
Pons.
Pons varily, they are totally different. Corpus callosum is basically
Their functions.
Correct. So pons varily helps in the relay between two cerebellum. Yeah, if you notice, cerebellum, the coordination between two cerebellum hemispheres, and corpus callosum is between the two cerebral hemispheres.
Cerebrum hemispheres.
And coordinate muscular activity.
Transfers
So where does
information
reabsorption take place?
between both the hemispheres of the cerebrum.
Cerebrum, and one is for the cerebellum.
Excuse me, so where does reabsorption take place?
Where does
reabsorption take place?
Selective
PCT,
reabsorption.
DCT, and
CT.
loop of
DCT,
Henle.
DCT, and loop of Henle.
Yes, sir.
Ultrafiltration.
Correct.
So please could you repeat?
Yeah, this answer is ultrafiltration basically.
Ultrafiltration.
So like where does reabsorption take place?
Ciliary body. Ciliary body.
Ciliary body.
Ciliary body.
Ciliary body.
Where does reabsorption? Reabsorption is a process that takes place in all the part, but basically you're talking of selective reabsorption. PCT.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
The structure holds the lens.
Ciliary body.
Ciliary body.
Ciliary body.
Ciliary body.
Glucagon.
Glucagon. Alpha cell
Collecting duct.
glucagon.
Glucagon, sir.
Correct.
Collecting duct.
Last part of the nephron is the collecting duct.
Collecting duct.
The part of the brain. Thalamus. Right. The thalamus comes in which portion of the? It comes the forebrain.
Diencephalon in the forebrain.
Diencephalon in the forebrain.
Forebrain.
Very nice. Very
Forebrain.
Forebrain.
Blood leaving the liver going towards the heart and rich in
Urea.
Yeah.
liver.
So what is the answer of
Once
last?
again, how did you say urea?
Yeah, sir, there should be not urea.
By the way, the blood is going, blood is leaving the liver. Okay. Yeah. So basically, liver is the one which converts it into urea, right?
Yes, sir. It breaks down.
Yeah.
Yes. So you need to know that very well. Liver is a place where the urea is being formed. So obviously, the blood, when it goes to the heart, it is filled in urea, and from there it goes to the kidney. Then it goes for the filtration process.
Yes, sir.
So what
I had a question about the.
So what is the answer of this question?
Urea.
Sir,
You have a doubt?
Sir, it will be
Yeah,
wrong.
sir.
Final
Sir,
chord.
I think, sir, all the 4 options are not correct.
Why did you say that?
So, but
D
liver
option
is only
is
the liver, right?
Okay, do you know the function of where is the liver? What is the role of the liver with regards to waste?
Yes, sir.
It produces urea, right?
Converts
all
to
this
urea.
all this to urea. So obviously urea has to move out, no, from there once made.
Sir, it can be
So, sir, that blood will
How
again
oxygen?
go to
How oxygen?
kidney.
When it is
Then
going
it will.
from the liver, it goes to the to the vena cava, goes into the heart. So it's a yes. So it cannot be oxygen.
So then that blood only goes to kidney. Then the 3 steps occur
So
of
you're
excretion.
looking at a complete circulation which has already gone through the kidney. Now from the kidney, it has to go back to the heart, na? So it has to go through various parts. I'm not looking at the kidney right now. I'm looking out from the various.
Sir, I'm asking that
Yes.
When the blood leaving the liver
Yes.
is going towards heart is rich in urea. So
Correct.
that, sir, for the excretion process, that blood will after traveling will go to kidney. Then the
Correct.
urea will
Will go
expelled out
Then-
from the
yes,
body.
Yes. So from the
Okay,
kidney, it gets expelled out.
Okay, sir.
So
the
reflex
answer
action
is
is
urea.
controlled by the
Spinal cord, sir.
Sir, what is the
Autonomic
answer?
nervous system.
Spinal cord.
spinal cord.
Sir, what is the answer for the blood?
Cornea.
Cornea.
Cornea. Grafted is
Cornea.
person suffering from hematuria shows presence of
Blood cells.
That's it.
Blood cells. Blood.
angina pectoris
Chest
is
pain
When
due
the
to
kinetic
Cell in
heart muscle.
the artery.
chest pain. All right, very good.
Neutrophils.
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 Neutrophil.
Because they have 3 lobes.
3
Can
to
I ask
7
questions
lobes.
like these?
3 to
3 to 4.
3 to 4 low.
all right.
Acromegaly.
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 Okay, there is somatotropin. Somatotropin is another name for
Growth hormone.
growth hormone.
No.
Right? So growth hormone in adult leads to acromegaly. One is somatotropin and one is somatostatin. That is not in your portion.
Sir, will it not be giantism?
What is the lowest secretion in adults? It is said, not in children.
Oh,
Children,
yes.
In adults, it is acromegaly.
Okay, sir.
The dash resembles a
Iris.
diagram of the camera.
Iris.
Very good. Albinism and myxedema are due to
Hyposecretion of
Hyposecretion of thyroxine.
hyposecretion.
So can you explain the iris one?
Hyposecretion.
So can you explain the camera one? I don't understand.
Yes, sir. I too can't understand.
So what is the diaphragm of a camera?
Hello.
So your voice is not coming.
So you are not audible.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Now you're
Yes, sir.
audible. Yes, sir, you're audible.
Connected. All right. Let's move on to the next. Yeah, that's hyposecretion of thyroxine. Which following is not a natural reflex.
Elevation at the site of
Elevation at the site of
elevation at the site of food.
At the site of food. That's not a natural this. Yes.
Do we have feedback mechanism?
Pardon?
So do we have feedback
No
mechanism?
feedback
Sensory neuron.
Yes. Dorsal root ganglion.
Sensory neuron.
Sensory neuron.
Sensory
Very-
neuron.
The mineral
Calcium.
Can you tell me the mineral ion required for the nervous system?
Sodium.
Very nice. Okay, the chief function of
Destroyed our old RBCs.
Destroy old RBCs.
Destroy old RBCs.
Old worn out RBCs.
Destroy pathogens.
RBC.
Destroy pathogens.
Destroy old
Reduce
Disease also.
Lymph node.
Okay.
Destroy
Lymph nodes.
old RBC also. Destroy
Yes,
old RBC.
destroy-
Destroy old
Yes, sir. In
RBC.
RBC, they have given
Destroy old RBCs.
So that reduces all the WBCs or a yes. All right. So of old RBCs, that most functional animals. Okay. Part of the human ear concerned with hearing.
So sir, what's the answer?
Cochlea, ear, ossicle, centimeter. Option A.
What's the answer then of lymph node?
Fourth
What
one,
was the answer of previous?
this one of old RBC. pathogen is not the lymph
Sir, it
node.
will be 4.
It destroy old RBCs.
Sir, it will
Why
be
you say pathogen?
Old RBCs happens
Sir,
only in the-
RBCs is given in the book.
Very clearly about RBCs.
Okay.
There's nothing like to home.
Sir, what is the answer then?
The destroying of all RBCs.
Yes.
It's a site. It's a site where the RBCs are getting destroyed. Most of the all the cells, that's a site of where most of the, we can say, the cells are getting destroyed.
So that's mentioned only for spleen, right? It's not mentioned in the general paragraph of lymph and lymphatic system.
Talking about lymph node. What's the difference between lymph node and lymph organ? Lymph node and lymph organ?
Node. Lymph node is where all the new channels arise from, and lymph organ is where you can say like it's like a protective thing.
So, sir, both are different, right? The spleen and lymph nodes are different, right?
So, like, where does it mention that lymph nodes destroy RBCs?
So, yeah, this is a good question with regards to spleen and lymph node. Spleen is a lymph gland, okay, lymph organ, while lymph node is your tonsils, right?
Yes.
Yes.
No, I think that's a lymph gland. Tonsils is your lymph gland. Okay, lymph node is basically
Get the function in the book.
It is basically a point where all the infection is prevented from spreading. So I think destroying a pathogen is the most apt answer for this.
Maybe, sir.
Yes, because lymph gland destroys all RBCs.
Yeah.
Maybe it's 4 only.
It is the fourth one. It is the fourth one because destroying of RBCs is just spleen. WBC production is spleen. Hormone does not produce anything with regard to that. But the only apt answer is the destroying pathogen in the lymph node. So lymph node basically is a point.
Localized infection.
Localized, yeah. So it is a localizing and preventing from spreading from the whole body, right? So lymph. So part of the human ear concerned with
Cochlea earosical
First one.
The collecting duct in the kidney converge from
Papillae.
Renal papillae.
Renal papillae.
Yes, sir. Renal
Why, sir?
Renal papillae or renal pyramid? What it is?
Renal
Pyramid. Pyramid.
Yes.
Pyramid.
Sir,
Pyramid. Sure.
Pyramid.
The conical pyramid, basically, it's a fine. You can see the strip structures.
Yes, strip
right?
structures.
Yes. So that's where what the strip structure is basically. You're talking about all the collecting duct.
Papillae are the apex of that.
Yes, the papillae are the projection of the of each pyramid.
Pyramids.
Of the each pyramid. So basically, the renal pyramid is
the
your
dotted appearance is what then is stripped appearance is just
collecting duct in the kidney converge from.
So what is the meaning of that? Converge means
converge means all of them converge together from all the different nephrons. They come together. So that goes to give you the fine strip-like appearance.
And renal pyramid. Renal pyramid.
Only, sir.
The answer is pelvis. On page number 116 of concise, it is given.
That is
Pelvis.
Pelvis.
Duct of the kidney converge into. Okay, so you can see what I'm saying.
But sir, it is written that the collecting duct receives the content of many kidney tubules and pours it as urine in the pelvis of the kidney.
Different books have given different things.
Correct. Maybe it's papillae, sir, because apex of each pyramid is called a papillae, which projects into the pelvis of the kidney.
Correct. Apex of each pyramid is going to form a conical structure. That's your papillae projection, which that projection is in the pelvis, pointing into the pelvis. So converge from, it is a collecting duct of the kidney converge from. So when I'm saying converge, is basically all of them move towards the conical part.
Yes, sir.
The correcting duct.
All of
They
them.
poured out the things in pelvis, no?
So if they are poured out, they are poured out into the pelvis.
Sir, about
Pelvis, no?
the part of human ear concerned with hearing or eye.
Cochlea, ear ossicle, and tympanic.
Okay, sir.
The heart.
Sir, if dotted, if stripped appearance is collecting tubules.
Dotted appearance. Very good.
Sir, I guess answer is 4.
Dotted
Option
appearance.
4.
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Then what is dotted appearance? Then a stripped appearance is collecting tubule.
Collecting ducts in the kidney conversion.
Pardon?
Collecting ducts. Sir,
Yeah. Well, can you tell me what is the basically your loop of Henle and the collecting duct, they lie in the medulla region, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
And
sir.
that
Yes,
is
sir.
the strip appearance.
Okay.
Okay,
So
the
loop
strip
of Henle
appearance is
collecting
because of
duct
the
forming
loop
strip
of Henle also
dotted.
and the collecting duct.
Okay, sir. So basically, whatever is forming a straight line kind of structure, then that is striped, and whatever is kind of horizontal, then that is the dotted, right?
Yes. And your
Okay.
PCT, DCT, and that gives you dotted appearance
Okay, sir.
in the
Yes, sir.
cortex region.
Yes, sir.
So
Okay.
then what is the answer for this?
We are looking at a collecting duct converge to form the renal papillae. They're
Okay.
converging at the renal papillae, which then goes into the pelvis.
So then what
Okay.
is the correct answer? Renal papillae.
Sympathetic nerves and epinephrine.
Sir,
Fourth.
this question is sympathetic nerves and
Okay. Yeah, heartbeat are accelerated by
Fourth one,
Fourth option.
sympathetic
Fourth
nerves
option.
and
Sympathetic nerves and
Epinephrine.
Sympathetic nerves and
sympathetic nerve and epinephrine. Is epinephrine another name or it's just what?
Adrenaline.
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 Other name of
Correct. So they are two different types of form. You can say those.
Sir, in one of the book they have given
Sodium.
that write the types of cortisons found
Okay.
in kidney. Then what is the answer of that?
Cortisons, you're not going to. You're given. You're using cortisons found in the kidney or in the adrenal cortex.
No, they have given the question in one of the book together.
What question with regards to this?
What is the
So basically, when we look at cortisons, they are all the cortisons are mineral and glucocortisons and sex corticoids, right?
yeah?
So these are the 4 cortisons that is
Means
mentioned.
these type of questions can the council ask?
Mention the
No.
cortical or mention any 2 cortical hormones. Yes. Okay. Mention.
Sir, we'll write mineral corticoids and sex corticoids and glucocorticoids, no?
Yes. Only there are 3. There are 3 corticoids. Yes. So 3 corticoid hormones which are mentioned to you all in your textbook. And sex corticoid, if you ever come across adrenal androgen, it's such a name for sex corticoid.
Yes.
Okay, adrenal androgen. That's another name for
Sir, what will be the function of vasa recta?
vasa recta is, I'm coming to that 1 minute. Just don't jump on that. It's a secondary capillary which also helps you in the reabsorption process. Okay, mineral element. Okay, mineral element for condition of
Transition states.
fluid transport, fatty acid and glycerol.
Lymph.
Correct. Hypersecretion of ACTH.
So, can you scroll up? I want to see a
Addison's disease.
question.
Addison disease. We know ACTH is full form.
Adrenocorticotropic
hormone. So cortical hormones, and we know this is the cortical hormone problem, Addison disease and
So,
Cushing syndrome. Yes, yeah.
can you scroll up? I want to see a question above.
All these questions I've already posted onto the Rumbo Kids.
No, sir, I want to ask that what is the answer of this?
Which
Yes,
one?
sir, this question. So, heartbeats are accelerated by.
Yeah,
So, fourth one is the answer.
Yes.
Okay.
Sympathetic nervous system, right? If you
Thank
see
you,
the
sir.
difference between sympathetic and parasympathetic, you will see all the various organs and how they're elevated and constricted are related to those.
Yes. Sir, isn't this is disease hyposecretion?
Correct.
Addison's by hypersecretion of
Glomerular filtrate is received by what?
Bone capsule.
Which of the following is not the function of cerebrum?
Sir?
Respond to heat and pain.
Reflex center.
Respond to heat.
Mind chain.
Okay.
Sir, I have a doubt in one of the previous questions.
Sir, one of the question I have.
Which one?
Sir, this one, the hypersecretion of ACTH, shouldn't it be Cushing syndrome? Because when ACTH is more, the cortisone hormone is more.
There's someone who is disturbing the class.
I can't hear you very clearly.
It's okay. No questions. Why we bother about them?
Sir, if we say
Someone is disturbing the class.
Yeah, it's my gender.
All right. Let's go for the next.
Sir, this one, the hypersecretion of ACTH, shouldn't it be Cushing syndrome?
So this glomerular filtrate is received by
hormone is more.
There's someone who is disturbing the
Actually, I cannot hear you very clearly. I'll take your questions later. Just give me a
someone
minute.
is disturbing the class.
ACTH.
Sir, someone is in the class, sir.
It's okay. The person is interested in all.
So what do you mean by stereoscopic vision?
Glomerular filtrate is received by.
What is the meaning of strobic hormones? Can you please tell one?
Bowman's capsule.
Glomerular filtrate is received by.
Bowman's capsule. Yes,
Bowman's
that's the
capsule.
part.
Bowman's
Stereoscopic vision.
All right. Which
So
of the
what is
following
the
is not a function?
Bowman's
one?
capsule.
So what is the
Bowman's
answer of the fluid transport fatty acids and glycerol? Lymph.
The fluid
Lymph.
Yeah. Yeah, lymph, no.
Answer hypersecretion of ACTH.
Addison.
Sir, this is
Miss, I had a question, sir. The secretion of ADH is inhibited by emotional stress, nicotine, alcohol, or morphine, sir.
Psychiatrism is
The secretion of ACTH.
Yes, sir. Is inhibited by emotion and stress, nicotine, alcohol, or morphine.
what is
It is stress and emotions.
It's basically if you look at
How Addison's disease.
So is it
So
because
what
it's
is
a negative
telescopic
feedback
vision?
mechanism? That's why it's Addison's
Addison
disease.
is caused due to cortisol from the adrenal.
Yes. All right. Let's almost come to the end of the section A. Okay. I'll just take all your questions at the last. Okay. Just let me complete what we need. It is a step. How do we supply blood to all the parts of the body?
Voice is kind of breaking.
Am I audible?
No, sir, your voice
Audible,
is
sir, audible.
so much breaking.
The artery which supplies blood to all the parts of the body.
Sir, your voice.
Cannot see the
Iota.
We can't see the share screen.
question.
That's frozen, sir.
It is not visible.
Please
So no
scroll.
question.
The screen is
Okay.
Can you please rejoin?
All right. Can my screen visible now?
No, sir.
No, sir. You can rejoin, sir, fast.
Can you please restart the screen?
I have restarted the screen.
Sir, I have a question.
Okay, just
What
give
is-
me the network, I think.
What is stereoscopic vision?
All right. I'm back over here. Let's share the screen. Is the screen visible now?
Yes.
Visible now.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. The hormone will regulate the basal metabolism of the body.
Thyroxine. Thyroxine.
Thyroxine, yes.
Yes.
Good. The thin membrane covering the entire front part of the
Conjunctiva.
Conjunctiva. Conjunctiva.
Above question, can you say the answer?
Mellitus.
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 Diabetes. Mellitus.
Diabetes.
Mellitus.
The sweet diabetes. The thin membrane present at the end of the auditory.
Tympanum. Tympanum.
Tympanum.
Tympanum. All right. The kind of lens
Convex
required.
lens.
Concave.
Convex.
Convex.
Convex lens. Convex lens. Convex.
Hyperopia. Hyperopia is long-sightedness or short-sightedness?
Long-sightedness.
Part of the brain concerned with involuntary action.
Medulla oblongata.
Membrane cover the spinal cord.
Meninges.
Okay, you need to know the names of all the part of the meninges.
Dura mater, arachnoid, and pia mater.
Very good. Which one is the toughest one?
Dura mater.
Dura mater.
Which is more of spongy with blood vessels?
Pia mater.
Pia mater. Pia mater.
Pia mater.
Yes. Okay, the part of the brain that carries impulse from one hemisphere.
Pons.
Cerebellum. Okay, cerebellum.
Pons sparrow.
Oxytocin.
Oxytocin.
Very good. The term for the structure found in the
Membranous
Membranous labyrinth. Membranous labyrinth.
basically
What is case for renal artery? Renal artery.
Renal artery.
Pericardial fluid.
Pericardial fluid. Pericardial fluid.
Smallest common
Arterioles.
Arterioles.
Venules. The capillary which joins venules.
Venules.
Formed by the
Venules.
the smallest
So
common
arterioles get converted to capillaries and
Venules.
is
Venules.
capillary rejoin to form the venules.
To form venules. Venules.
So then what is venous? So what is venous?
nothing.
Nothing. It's
Sir, I've heard somewhere.
venom.
It's when the blood collects and becomes, I guess.
Venomous. Venomous you're talking about.
So it's venules, right?
Yeah, it's when the answer is venules. The answer is venules.
What's the answer of this? Venous or venules?
No,
Can we do
So when the blood becomes thick, then it is called venous, I guess.
yes.
What's the answer, sir, now?
Pardon?
Sir,
So what is
smallest
correspondence?
common blood vessel found in the union of capillaries?
Yeah, when capillary rejoin to form venules.
Okay.
That goes to form the vein.
Okay.
Which of the following statement is true for eosinophil?
They engulf bacteria from.
Sir,
They
produce
Sir, can you please tell the function of heparin?
What is the function? Which first and foremost, before we go to heparin, can you tell me which is the cell which produces heparin? Pardon? Basophils. Correct. Basophil produce heparin, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
What is the function of what when I
It's
say
an anticoagulant.
Produces
anticoagulant?
histamine for inflammation. For basophils.
This is different, I guess.
It's an anticoagulant. It prevents the blood from clotting.
Correct.
So what you are asking about?
He's talking about heparin.
Okay, sir, I was telling about histamine.
Acha, histamine. Okay, that's for inflammation. Okay, Nissel's granules are
Cyton.
Very good.
Then the basophils produce heparin, right?
Outer
Don't
and
go into the
Outer ear and the middle ear.
Anyone who wants to answer her, she does not know what is Nissel's granule.
It's a protein found inside.
Small chunks of protein.
Which produces protein.
Yes. If the granules are stained, is a protein. The tympanic membrane lies between
Outer and the middle ear.
Outer and middle.
Good, outer and middle. Okay, gout disease. Yeah, acha, by the way, this all the disease related to excretory system is not mentioned.
Deposition of uric acid.
Deposition of uric
Deposition of uric acid.
Deposition of uric acid.
Where
Deposition of uric acid.
In the legs, sir.
On the legs.
Excuse me.
Legs, sir. Which form
The joints.
bones,
Joints.
in the
Mainly
joints,
joints.
in the
Mainly
joints.
joints.
correct.
Yeah, in the joints.
Sir, I can ask something that is like albumin area, hematuria,
Yes, yes. So those
glycosuria.
are not
Are
meant.
these in syllabus?
No.
Okay.
They are in the starting only in the excretory system. They are not mentioned any of the diseases related to the excretory, except for few.
But they have asked in
They
the
have
past years.
They have asked, yeah. But just
12 pairs.
12 pairs.
of
Yes.
second.
12 pairs.
12. Cranial is 12 pairs. Which of the following is not a function of cerebrum? It's a repeated question. Okay, that's fine. We already color of the eye referred to the
Iris.
Iris. Most
So what is stereoscopic vision?
What is
Three-dimensional.
stereoscopic
When
vision?
we see from two eyes, the 3D image is
Very
covered.
good,
That is
very
known
good.
as
Because they look at
stereoscopic
the depth of the
vision.
object.
The depth of the object is a stereoscopic vision. Which of the following statement is true?
Just like structure without nucleus.
It's like structure without nucleus.
Disk-like structure without nucleus.
Okay. Which of the following is not true?
Outer region of a cerebrum is
The
white
region
matter.
of wall of
Outer
cerebrum is
region
called
of
cortex.
Sir, outer region of cerebrum has
A
white
one
matter.
is there.
A na? You have gray matter.
Gray matter.
Outside is of a brain is
gray matter.
a gray matter, and inside
Gray
is a white
matter.
matter.
Yes, sir.
Can we do subjective
So this
ones?
is not true.
Yes.
Okay. Which of the following is true for distal convoluted tubule (DCT)?
It is the end part of the nephron.
End of the
Is the end part of the optic lobes that control vision.
Hindbrain. One minute.
Midbrain.
Brain.
Midbrain,
It is in
but
the
this is
forebrain.
occipital.
Vision.
midbrain.
Four.
So where it is
Midbrain,
given?
hindbrain, forebrain. Which
Sir, where it is given?
Hindbrain, sir.
It is given. It is given definitely in the
1 minute.
midbrain. In the what is midbrain?
Sir, where it is given in our book?
First of all, we will
In
mention
concise?
occipital lobe.
In concise, they are mentioned with regards to the forebrain, midbrain, and
Which of the
hindbrain.
following is true for distal convoluted tubule?
Pardon?
For distal convoluted tubule, sir, which of the following?
End part of the nephron.
Previous question.
End part of the nephron.
I'm speaking that optic lobes are also known as that occipital, and in concise it is given midbrain.
Correct. So midbrain is
Where
the
it is
part
given
which is
in the
involving eyes.
On
and
page number 128.
It's given as forebrain.
Yeah, you need to know the primary region of the brain: forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain, and that forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain. We know all the various parts: the cerebellum, cerebellum, cerebellum. Cerebrum and the diencephalon. In diencephalon, thalamus and hypothalamus. Midbrain, we know eye and ear related to that. So optic lobes controlling vision is basically so
midbrain.
I'll tell you something with regards to So it's a back part. It is your
So someone told that in concise it is given in 128 page number. Can I know in which part, left hand side or right hand side?
left hand side.
Left hand side.
Left hand side. You'll have the primary region of the brain, the midbrain.
Midbrain, sir.
Okay.
And sir, if we are asked the lobe, we will say the occipital lobe, no?
The occipital lobe, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we are talking about the lobes of the cerebrum, it is the occipital lobe.
Okay. Temporal and all.
Occipital bone?
Occipital lobe are the various sections of the cerebrum.
For eyes.
Forebrain, so we have the frontal, parietal, temporal, and occipital.
Yes. So temporal is for hearing.
Hearing. Very good.
And frontal for sensation, for consciousness and intelligence.
Very good.
Then parietal for movement and sensation.
Movement and sensation. So we.
And sir,
it is there in your if you go to your textbook, go to your brain nervous system. I think in some 120 something, 25,
127, sir.
In that the diagram of the brain that is shown over there. There are 3 diagrams shown over there. From that, if you know the colored part of the brain, which are different colors, which are face, hearing, body balance, all those vision.
The diagram number 10.7 or 10.6?
10.6. Sir, actually, it is given clearly in Goel Prakashan book.
Okay.
Yeah, sir, it is given clearly in Eschand also that frontal lobe is for thought, parental lobe is for sensory sensation, temporal is for auditory.
So I think this question is taken from Goel itself. So this question is taken from Goel itself. I'm telling you, I pulled out questions from various papers, and these are the questions which are pulled out. Okay, so it can be, but maximum is pulled out from the Selena.
So
Yes.
So, but in the S-chart it is
Adrenally.
given that position of
Adrenally.
lobes.
Adrenally.
So,
Sir, what's the
Adrenally.
answer for that
So-
vision?
sir, I have a doubt.
Yes, Kamya.
So in the before question only, in S-chant it is given that position of lobes in cerebrum, and it is given that the first lobe is occipital lobe, visual reception of seeing.
Visual reception, frontal,
No, sir.
occipital, lah.
Occipital.
Yes, that's fine.
So, sir, answer should be forebrain. No.
No,
In book it is
occipital
given.
is the back part of your cerebrum. It's not in
Yeah.
front. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Good. So let's go on to the next part. The fluid present within the spleen and tonsil.
It's called lymph.
Lymph.
Which of the following part of the brain maintains posture, equilibrium, and muscle
Cerebellum.
flow?
Cerebellum.
Cerebellum.
Okay. Which of the following is true for a hormone?
Not C.
They are secreted at one place
They
and
are
act.
secreted at one
secreted
place
at
and
One
act
place
at
act at
another
another.
Another place.
Option B.
Option B. That's
Option
the true answer. Correct. So it has a very distant location. Okay. Effect.
7
They
pairs.
acted on target cells.
7 pairs. 7 pairs.
They acted on target cells. No?
8 pairs.
Cervical are 7 pairs.
Sir, 8 pairs is the answer.
These questions, my teacher had told.
Yeah, if you notice, 8 pairs in the neck region, 12 in the thorax region, 5 in the lumbar, and 5 in the sacral.
And 1 in coccygeal region.
Correct. 1 in the coccygeal region. All right. The round cup-shaped body where glomerulus is found.
Renal
Women's
pelvis.
capsule.
Renal pelvis. No?
So where? Which
cortex part.
Renal pelvis.
Cortex.
Cortex of the kidney. Cortex part of the kidney. The process of tubular secretion in urine formation is done by
Distal convoluted tubule.
tubular secretion.
That's
Okay, DCT.
Which of the following is an example of unconditioned
unconditioned reflex.
dancing?
Swallowing it up.
No,
Swallowing food.
Swallowing
Swallowing food is a natural
Swallowing
reflex.
of
It's a
food.
natural. Yeah.
This is your natural, right? That's all you have learned.
Yeah, condition. Yeah. The condition and acquired are both are same.
Acquired, yes. Conditioned and acquired. You're acquiring.
Deficiency of glucocorticoid.
Yeah.
Excess of glucocorticoid.
Yes, sir, I've doubted this.
Glucocorticoid.
In this
Excess of glucocorticoid.
Sir, can you please explain this question, sir, again? I got this in my
1 minute. I
Which
was
one,
Cushing
dear?
syndrome.
Sir, this one Cushing syndrome one, sir. I got it in my
Okay.
prelims, sir. Please
Cushing
explain.
syndrome is basically causing excess of glucose in the blood. So basically hyperglycemia. So when I say hyperglycemia, excess of glucose.
Cushing's syndrome given in cortisone. No?
Cortisone, yes. So cortical hormones, right?
Yeah.
So it is glucocorticoids, right?
Yes. Excess of
Sir,
glucocorticoid.
what is aldosterone, sir? What is aldosterone?
Aldosterone is not in your this.
Oh,
Sir, actually, our school told that aldosterone, LH, and some parts of the hormones are removed from the syllabus.
Correct. Correct. So most of the parts are not there. They're just given just to confuse. A rich coat of eyeball enrich in blood supply.
Retina. No, chloride. Right. Chloride has been nourishment of the
Photosensitive cells.
Yeah.
Chloride is blood vessels.
They provide nourishment.
So blood vessels and rich supply is choroid.
Chloride. It provides nourishment.
Which of the following eye defect is correct by using cylindrical lens?
Astigmatism.
Astigmatism.
Not in our book.
It is
It
there.
is,
No,
it
it's
is in the
there.
Selena.
Yeah, it is
in
It is
Selena.
in the Selena.
Selena, it is there.
Quadrate and nine.
Bicuspid and
Into nine.
tricuspid valve are attached.
Caudate tendinae.
Caudate tendinae.
Can you tell me the muscle?
Papillary muscles.
Papillary muscles.
Capillary.
A drunken person do not have control over vehicle.
Cerebellum cannot.
Cerebellum.
Cerebellum. B option.
Cerebellum. B option.
Human body has 31. Again, this is the same thing. How many pairs are the thoracic part?
12 pairs.
12.
12.
Loop of Henle is present in the
Middle part of the nephron.
Middle part of the
Middle part of the nephron. Okay. Which of the following is not true for glomerulus?
Glomerulus.
It is a site of tubular
It is a
site of tubular secretion.
Site of tubular secretion. Part of the human eye where rods and cones are located.
Retina.
Okay, retina. Which is the maximum?
Beta cells of pancreas. Beta
Okay,
cells.
okay. Beta cell pancreas. Then the ganglion.
Ventral root of
Motor neuron.
Ventral, dorsal. The motor is the spinal cord. Okay,
The question are repeating, sir.
Excuse me,
These
sir.
questions are repeating actually.
Sir, in dorsal root, it would be sensory neuron and association.
And in the ventral root, it is the motor neuron.
And sir, can you repeat what you were talking about coordinate tendons, sir?
Pardon?
Sir, you were saying
Above question, you were asking some question, na?
Papillary muscles.
Papillary muscles. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Papillary muscles.
Okay, last question of this section A. Incus is one of the bony ossicles found in the
Anvil shape.
Sir, I think so. In the board has asked us not to learn such type of things. Stirrup and anvil.
Yes. Okay. So which one is now the last stirrup is connected to which membrane?
Oval window.
Oval window.
Right. Very good.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes.
So there was a question like, what is the function of lymph nodes? What will be the answer for that?
What is the function of lymph
It is a
node?
graveyard. It is a graveyard of WBC and RBC. It produces antibodies to fight from pathogens.
Yes, sir. But there was
Two
a
main
incident
functions.
about that, right?
It produces leukocytes too, I guess.
You're talking of spleen or you're talking of lymph node? See, that's the
Lymph
question.
Nodes, I guess.
Lymph nodes.
Yeah,
Lymph
if I'm
node.
talking of lymph node, do not talk in terms of spleen. Okay, spleen is a totally different term you are using here.
So we can see that now it is a graveyard for WBC and RBC. Second, they produce antibodies to fight for different pathogens entering the body.
You're talking about lymph node.
Lymph node.
Yeah, lymph node is a place where you'll find the pathogens and all getting destroyed over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir. There was a question
given
in the book it is given that in lymph node antibodies are formed.
Okay.
Question
All right. So let's.
Yes, sir. I had a question, sir. That the secretion of ADH is inhibited by emotional stress, nicotine, alcohol, and morphine, sir. Which is the correct answer?
Stress.
Sir, emotional stress?
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Stress, I guess.
Above the kidneys. Above both of the
Adrenaline was the
adrenal gland.
Adrenal glands.
Above the kidney.
The cap-like
structure on top of each kidney.
Top of each kidney.
Adrenaline.
Adrenaline secreted by the
Adrenaline hormone.
Myopia, you need to explain about myopia. One person who can explain, please.
Nearsightedness.
Nearsightedness is a condition in which near
a person
objects are not seen.
Can see
near objects, but he can. Two major causes for myopia are lengthening of the eyeball. Second, curving of the lens.
Lens is too curved.
Can we have one person answering this? Can we have one person?
Sir, myopia is a condition.
May I tell?
Yes.
May I tell?
Kamya, just 1 minute. Kamya, I'll give you one more chance. Just 1 minute. Yeah. Who is this? Harsh? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Myopia and it's rectified.
Myopia is a short-sightedness disease caused by in which image is formed before retina. It is due to the lengthening of the lens and due to the curving of the lens. It is rectified by concave lens.
Okay, very
Sir,
good.
I want to rectify him that he said that flattening of lens. It is curving of lens. Flattening is in hyperopia.
Lengthening of the eyeball.
Yeah, the curving of the lens. Eyeball and curving of.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's necessary to mention that the lengthening of the eyeball front to back.
Not necessary. You can put out 1 point at least. The defect.
So, but in PYQs, it is asked that what are the two conditions for myopia. So in that we have to write this, no?
So, like in the definition of myopia, what are the keywords?
Nearsightedness.
You can see near things
Near
correctly.
objects
Correct.
properly and far objects cannot be seen.
Yeah. So you just talk in term myopia means only you can see nearby but cannot see distance object. That's very clear. Straightforward.
Size answerable acceptable.
Yes. Okay. And when you say about how to rectify it,
Concave lens.
Concave.
yes, you're going to use a concave lens,
So
right?
someone is actually doing nonsense.
Okay. Now if you look at the diagram of
Sir,
the
I want to try this question.
Yes, please.
First part is cerebrum. Second is cerebellum.
Very
Third
good.
is pons.
Very good. Pons virally. Very nice. State the biological terms of the following.
Can we mention the first as cerebral hemisphere?
Synapse.
Yes, you can say cerebral. Point
Synapse.
of contact, synapse. The part that pulses the heartbeat.
SAN node.
Arterial
SAN node.
No
If we write
atrial node.
SAN node, it's right, or if we have to write the SAN node, it's right, or we have to.
SA node is the end part, right? Or you can write the whole word.
I know arterial node.
Yes. Hormone that stimulates other
Trophic
endocrine
hormones.
Tropic hormone.
Hormones.
Correct.
Tropic hormone.
Mention any two differences between atrial systole and ventricular systole. The
Atrial
chamber that contact and the valves that.
Atrial systole.
So may I try?
Yeah.
In
So
atrial systole, the two atriums contract,
Okay.
and the pulmonary and the aortic semilunar valves closes. In ventricular systole, the two ventricles contract and tricuspid and bicuspid valves are closed,
Very
producing lup sound. And in the atrial systole, it produces
Yeah.
dup sound.
So we talk only about the valves closing and we talk only about the contraction of which chamber.
So,
Yes.
I have a doubt in
Yes.
this topic that in our book it is given that first occurs atrial systole and produces dup sound, and second occurs ventricular systoles which produces lub sound. So in another page it is written that lub is the first sound and dup is the second sound.
Then Serena
So
also
how
it
is this related?
Then also they have put lub is the first. So contraction phase will produce the lub. And the
So
relaxation.
I cannot understand that properly.
First will be the ventricular systole.
The atrioventricular valves closes, club sound is produced.
So
it's yes.
Round cup shaped body.
So I have a doubt that so
Yes.
so can you explain this that here it is given that in the circulation of blood in the heart it starts with the contraction of the two atria. So and this contributes for dup sound. So first step is the dup sound and the second step is the lup sound. And so then how it can be possible that the lup is the first sound and dup is the second sound?
First, you're not going to be asked which is the first sound and second sound. If when you're placing,
I'm asking for my clarity.
no, you
I'm
don't. We are not
getting that
clearing out
concept.
now that theory. I will specifically clear your doubts in that special thing. But here we are just focusing on what we need to know from the exam perspective. Okay. So let's focus on the exam perspective over here. All your further doubts, I'll take that separately. Okay, we need to focus on some questions which I need to see from the exam point of view. How am I going to solve this? Okay, so where we see pancreas located and state it's one of its secretion.
Located in the same abdomen cavity.
Let's have Jaisal, can you say that?
Pancreas are located in the back.
Pancreas are located in the abdomen cavity about diaphragm.
Very good. It's
at small
cavity behind the stomach, above the stomach.
At small intestine, na?
Correct. It's just above the left.
Yes, sir, if we write that it presents that
Close
abdominal
to
region.
duodenum behind the stomach.
Okay. Behind
This
the
is
stomach.
more precise,
That is present in
for 1
abdominal
mark.
region
Mhm.
at small intestine. It's okay, or we have to both describe it.
You're saying in abdominal
I guess
region,
for
that's a very
1.
vague answer.
At small intestine.
Below the
Sir,
stomach.
Intestine, na? Did one of its
Sir,
secretion, it secrete a pancreatic juice. Duodenum.
in Selena, it is only given that leaf-like structure behind the stomach.
Sir, the correct answer would be pancreas are located in the abdomen cavity close to duodenum behind the stomach.
All right. Behind the
Yes.
stomach. That's right. That's a perfect when you talk in terms of location. And with regards to secretion,
pancreatic juice.
Somastrophin.
Okay, so no, we
I
are
just
talking only
mentioned
which is related to your kidney.
Insulin.
It is in your portion.
Okay, insulin and glucagon.
Yeah, you can either put insulin or glucagon over here. Okay.
Sir, I want to
So
try
when you're talking about pancreatic secretion, you're looking
Sir,
at
can you please repeat the location once?
Sir, if we write pancreatic juice, it's okay.
Where
it is located? Pancreas, where it is
pancreatic
located?
juices. Yeah, pancreatic juices. Yes, you can also put that pancreatic juices over there. But yeah, because it is our secretion and not hormone.
Yes.
Okay, it's our secretion. So secretion can be, if you are saying an exocrine gland, you can say pancreatic juices. If you are saying endocrine gland, you'll
Because sir, they not specifically mentioned anything.
yes, they have not mentioned exactly. So you can either put insulin hormone based, then you'll say insulin, glucagon, or somatostatin. And if you're talking about normal, this pancreatic juices.
Okay.
Secretion is pancreatic juices.
Sir, the D question I want to try.
Sir, where does
Sir,
the
may I
pancreas
try?
locate?
The
Sir, you
location of the
said that you
pancreas
will
located.
give chance to me.
Yes, just a moment. Okay, now we have Shiva. Shiva, are you
Sir,
there?
may I try, sir, please?
Come here, just one. I give you one. Let us give others also, right? Shiva, are you there?
Sir, I also didn't got a chance.
Yes, Jaisal. Jaisal, you're there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jaisal, you can give me the question for this D1.
Okay. Auditory nerve, I guess, for the first one. Vibrations into
Vibration
nerve
into nerve impulse.
Sir, it should be organ of Corti. Organ of Corti.
Yes, organ of Corti, because we have the vibration that comes from the tympanic membrane.
Yes.
Okay.
This concept wasn't clear.
Okay. So human here, when you're talking in terms of function of the mentioned, your vibration is caused for the vibration of the ossicles that is going to hit your membrane, and that going to go into your.
Where does the pancreas locate, sir?
Yes.
Sir, it should be organ of Corti.
So organ of Corti is the conversion, the organ of sensitive cells converted from the vibration in the fluid into nerve impulse.
Amplifying is ear ossicle.
Very good.
And third one is like ampulla.
Where is the anterior pituitary
Ampulla or
located?
semicircular canals?
Dynamic
No,
balance. Dynamic balance is
Semicircular canal.
Semicircular canal.
balance is semicircular canal.
Semicircular canal.
Sir,
Ampulla is a part of it, no?
Sir, in Selena, it is written clearly that ampulla is responsible for
It's
diameter.
ampulla is a part of semicircular canal.
So
It is at the base.
yes. So what when you are talking about which balancing
sir,
dynamic
more
balance,
precisely, it should be ampulla.
it is the
Ampulla.
ampulla which has the sensory cells, right? So semicircular canals is the arrangement of that into
Pancreas
different.
location you tell, sir,
Yeah,
once.
pew.
Yes.
But in both, sir, both are corrected.
Sir,
So to be on the safer side, you
location,
can,
can you please tell?
so if you want to be on the
Sir, we
safer
can
side,
write
you write
both
the
now.
ampulla. You can write the
In the
you can write
semicircular
the
canal.
end of the semicircular canal, which has an ampulla, which is helping in
Okay, sir.
sensory cells.
Okay.
Put those two statements together in a
Sir,
statement.
pancreas location.
Pardon?
Pancreas location, sir.
Yeah. We already said about that.
In the abdominal cavity behind the stomach.
Behind the stomach, in the abdominal cavity. Okay. State the organ that acts as a blood reservoir.
Spleen.
Spleen. Which we see that it produces.
Spleen.
Lymphocyte.
Lymphocyte.
Okay.
Sir, can I answer?
Yes, now you can answer.
Below the larynx.
In front of the neck, below larynx.
In front of the neck, below the larynx.
In the neck,
In front of the
Front part
neck,
of
below
the
the
neck,
larynx.
Yes.
below the
Below the
larynx.
larynx. Name the steps involved in urine formation.
extrafiltration, selectivity absorption, and tubular secretion.
Secretion.
Absorption and tube.
Look at the diagram based question. This is of the nervous system, which is put over here. Okay.
Reflex action.
Reflex action.
You ask
Reflex action.
phenomena. Phenomena is a reflex action or reflex arc.
Reflex action.
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 Reflex action.
Action.
Arc. It's an arc.
Okay. All right. What would I
It's an
put?
action.
Reflex action or reflex arc?
Action.
कैसे पता?
Action. Action.
Action.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, excuse me.
Because the hand is
The state the arrangement of neuron in the spinal cord.
Sir, this is arc because
a
they are
reflex
showing the
arc.
complete procedure. Like it is going from sensory neuron.
Correct. It's a reflex arc which is shown the phenomena. Arrangement of the neuron in the spinal cord.
Sir,
the
It's on the inner side and the axons on the outer side.
We have the white cells.
Cortex in the inner side of the spinal cord and
sir, which nerve is this?
Pardon?
Sir, which nerve is this? Can we say
Spinal.
this is representing spinal nerve?
Yes, spinal nerve it is.
Arrangement of neuron in the spinal cord. Yeah, spinal nerve. We ask the spinal neuron is the which nerve?
Reflex arc.
All right. So let's see the name the structure that protects the
vertebral
spinal cord.
column and meninges. Vertebral column and meninges.
Okay. We can vertebral column and the meninges, both of them are the ones which protect the spinal
CSF
cord.
also, no, sir?
Cerebral spinal fluid, yes, it acts also as a protection that is present over that below the meninges. Yes, you can put that also. So there are many structures that basically help to protect the spinal cord. State one of the organic and one inorganic constituent of urine.
Urea and sodium chloride.
Inorganic is sodium.
Inorganic is sodium chloride and organic.
Chloride.
Inorganic is sodium chloride and organic is
Organic is
Urea.
Okay,
uric acid.
dialysis is a process of
Oozing out of the blood, white blood cells.
WBC.
The water
WBC squeezed out from the capillaries.
Correct.
into the
To
tissue.
defend the body in the process of phagocytosis.
Once more repeat, please.
All right. I'll repeat that part over here. I'll just share with you with the answers also. Okay, where was this? Yeah. So when you're looking at, I put in all the answers also with regards to this. Okay. So we are looking at outer part axon, inner part cell body, and the vertebral column, or you can put your meninges, or you can put the cerebrospinal fluid, whichever part you can put over there.
Okay.
Okay. So state one, organic and inorganic one. So organic urea, created,
and
uric
sodium
acid.
chloride.
Yes, and inorganic sodium chloride, potassium, ammonia, whichever. Diaphysis, squeezing out of WBC into the capillary and surrounding. Answer the
What
question.
is the vertical column one given in Selena?
Visual violet.
Pardon, what is it?
What is the vertical column part given in Selena?
I'm sorry. You
What is
said?
the vertical column part given in Selena, sir?
Yeah, it is the external first part which protects your vertebrae, right? Your spinal cord.
Sir, it is visual violet.
It's idophysine or idophysine also.
Yeah. So what the so either you write visual violet or you write iodopsin. Yes. Name the thin membrane covering the front part of the eye.
Conjunctiva.
Reason why blind spot is the vision of no vision.
Because there are no
Because it has no
sensory sense.
Very
And
good.
there
There are
is
no
No
sense.
sensory
presence of
sense.
rod and cones. No
Full
presence
form-
of rod
yeah.
and cones.
Very good. Full
Proximal
form of
convoluted
PCT.
Simple convoluted tubule.
Proximal fluid.
Cerebrospinal
And
fluid.
Cerebrospinal
Ventricular node. Atrioventricular node.
Atrioventricular node.
Atrioventricular.
Okay. Identify the type of nerve that is sensory, motor, or mixed. Auditory,
Sensory nerve.
sensory,
Sensory nerve.
signal,
motor,
Mixed nerve. Mixed nerve.
Mixed
Mixed nerve.
Mixed nerve.
Final mixed nerve.
mixed nerve. Micturition,
The process
Process of removal of urine, expel out of urine,
Out of the body.
expel out of urine from the body.
Excretion
The
out of
process of expellation of unwanted and toxic products of the body.
Diabetes insipidus.
Correct.
Diabetes insipidus.
A biological term.
Platelets.
Thrombocytes.
Which helps in blood clotting.
Calcium.
Calcium ion.
Calcium, sorry. Say the enzyme that
It is enzyme is thrombokinase. Thrombokinase or thromboplastin.
Thromboplastin, whichever.
Plastin.
The term cortisone secreted by which gland?
Adrenal
cortex.
Adrenal cortex.
Under secretion which disease?
Adrenal virilism.
To Addison's disease. Addison's disease.
And anterior pituitary?
Growth
hormone.
Sir, can you please define Addison's disease?
Pardon, dear?
Addison's disease, can you please define?
So basically, when we are looking at Addison disease, it is the hyposecretion of cortisone. Okay, when you know hypo means low secretion of cortisol. Now, what happens to that individual over there? If you notice, the person will have everything low. Okay, so so basically the sugar level, the skin, and all other, it'll be more of a thin person. Okay.
Okay.
Name the gland in which is heterocrine.
Pancreas.
One hormone that is already similar.
Insulin.
State the difference between voluntary and involuntary action.
Voluntary are done in conscious, involuntary action to unconsciously.
There are control.
Okay, not in your control. Biological term, point of contact. I think this we did, I think.
Yes, the point of between the synapse.
Of the
Meningitis.
Fluid present in the anterior part of the lens.
Vitreous humor.
Not posterior.
Sir, can you explain what is the difference between anterior and posterior?
Anterior means front, posterior is back.
So the
aqueous humor. Then aqueous humor.
So then aqueous humor.
Anterior is front, posterior is back. So posterior is vitreous and anterior is okay.
Aqueous humor.
Yeah, the front, the aqueous humor.
And posterior is vitreous humor.
Yeah. Now look at this question. This is a very challenging question. Let me see how many of you will get this. The diagram based question later. First, two difference between RBC and WBC. You can put in the name.
RBCs are not hematoid.
Do not contain nucleus.
Hematoid in shape.
Okay, nucleus.
No mitochondria. They have mitochondria.
Okay. And what talk in terms of lifespan? Talk in terms of function.
20 days. 120 days. WBC is 2 to 4 weeks.
2 weeks.
In location.
Is located in the left side of the both side of the kidney.
Both side of the kidney.
Let the stomach above the left kidney.
Very good. Above the left kidney. Two function of the
Behind stomach.
It's protected with the lungs.
Reservoir.
It acts as a blood reservoir.
Produce
And help
lymphocyte.
to destroy the RBC, then drain out RBC.
Very good.
It is
Now look
lymphocyte.
at the diagram. Label. Give me the parts of which part of this region of the kidney we are talking about.
Women's capsule.
Region.
Is cortex. Cortex.
The region is the cortex region. Okay. And this entire structure is called
Malpighian capsule. Malpighian capsule.
Label the parts 1, 2, 3, 4.
1 is afferent arteriole. Glomerulus. 3 is women's capsule. 4th is efferent arteriole. Is afferent. 2 is glomerulus. 3 is women's capsule. 4th is efferent.
Gunish,
yes, sir.
Can I? Please, sir.
Yeah, who is this?
Sir, Apurva.
Yes. Number 1 is?
Number 1 is, sir, efferent arteriole.
Efferent or afferent?
Afferent.
Be careful. Look at the structure of both the structure. One is thin and one is thick.
Fourth one is
No, sir. 4th one is afferent arteriole. 4th one is afferent arteriole.
First one is afferent, sir. Afferent. A for apple. Afferent.
4 is.
No, sir. 1 is efferent. Sir, 1 is efferent.
Afferent.
One is efferent.
Afferent. One is afferent.
1 is efferent.
one is different.
One is
Because the
efferent.
structure of the different is thin and afferent will be always thicker. Okay, the diameter of the artery that entering will be more thicker as compared to the diameter that leaves out of the glomerulus.
Okay.
The inside one is the glomerulus.
Glomerulus.
3 is your
Is
Bowman's
Bowman's
capsule.
capsule.
Bowman's capsule. Right. Name the stages.
Bowman's
Same thing.
capsule.
This is a repeated question, sir.
Ultrafiltration, selective reabsorption, and
So the
tubular
questions
secretion.
can be framed in different ways. Okay. What is osmoregulation?
Osmoregulation is a
Osmoregulation is important because
To maintain
and to
homeostasis of
maintain
the
the
blood.
osmotic pressure.
Correct. Maintaining of all. So we can say this.
So we can also write now it maintains the number of ions in the body.
So we use this.
Concentration of ions.
Mainly blood, na?
Osmotic pressure.
So
within
can
the
we
body
write
is
that
the-
it can maintain homeostasis in the blood?
Maintaining homeostasis. That's the right way. We can
So
do that.
can you explain what is homeostasis?
Basically, you're maintaining the equilibrium inside the water and salt balance in your blood.
That is homeostasis.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so how is the pulse rate related to the heartbeat?
Pulse rate is the regular throbbing of an artery due to the regular contraction of arteries.
Very good. And how it is related to heartbeat?
Because the counting of the pulse is indirectly
It
counting
is
of the
directly
heartbeat.
connected to the artery.
So
Directly connected.
can I ask a question?
Just
Why
a
blood
moment.
is always taken out from not taken out from arteries?
What is not taken out?
Why blood is not taken out from arteries?
Because it contains
No, because it contains oxygenated blood, and if your body oxygenated blood is decreased, you will go into
Coma.
So you need your blood, oxygenated blood in the body. That's why you take from the veins and not from the artery. Okay, difference between acromegaly and cretinism.
Acromegaly occurs due to the oversecretion of growth hormone, and cretinism occurs due to the undersecretion of growth hormone.
Deficiency of growth hormone.
Deficiency of growth hormone.
Thyroxine.
Cretinism, not
Deficiency
growth
of
hormone.
Thyroxine.
Yes, thyroxine and acromegaly is growth hormone.
Deficiency of growth hormone.
Deficiency of growth hormone.
Absolutely.
Growth hormone in adults.
Cretinism, the mental retardation of the child is all happens.
Correct. Okay. Name the 3 hormones secreted by the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland.
FSH, LSH,
FSH, LH, GH,
growth hormone.
Growth hormones.
luteinizing hormone, and
And
fossicle secreting
posterior
hormone.
will have only 2 hormones.
Yeah,
Fossicle
oxytocin
secreting
and
hormone.
GH.
Correct. And
The
ADH.
antidiuretic hormone.
Very
ADH.
good. What is blood coagulation and the 4 stages in this? That's all about your clotting factors.
Platelets. Clotting of blood platelets by.
Correct. So you
We
need
have
to
to
first talk
describe
about
each
what
part.
is. Okay.
We have to describe each part.
Prothrombin to
Yeah, you need to explain the parts, all
with
the
the
4
help
parts with regard to what happens during the stages.
fibrogen to fibrin.
Soluble fibrinogen to soluble fibrin.
Insoluble fibrin, and then
With the help of calcium ions. With the help of calcium
And
ions.
this fibrin make the mesh-like structure.
Correct. All right.
So-
Let's see question number 10.
So
Yes.
fibrinogen is soluble, no?
Yeah, fibrinogen is a soluble. Fibrin is
Yes.
Fibrinogen is the soluble part
one.
inside the blood.
Sir, in the above answer, it is given that so yeah, here it is given that insoluble. Yes, sir, insoluble fibrinogen into soluble
Insoluble,
fibrin.
no? So basically, your insoluble, which is 1 second.
Sir,
which
it is given. Yeah, it is given opposite. No, soluble
thrombin
fibrinogen
converts the soluble fibrinogen. Into soluble fibrin. Okay, that's
insoluble fibrin.
insoluble fibrin. Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Differentiate between rods and cones.
Rods have the pigment rhodopsin and cones have the pigment iodopsin.
Very good.
Roads are sensitive to dim light.
Roads are sensitive to light. Rods are sensitive to dim light, and cones are sensitive to bright light.
They do not help in color differentiation. Cones help in color differentiation.
Rods are
rods accept wavelength except red, and cones accept a specific wavelength of color wavelengths.
Okay. Now distinguish color in the moonlight. It is difficult to distinguish color in the moonlight
because
Because
roads are
on
active
that
and
time
they
rods
secrete
are activated,
which cannot
rods are
differentiate in the
activated
colors.
and cones are not activated.
Very good. So in at the night, when we talk
At
about
the night,
night,
rods are
active,
secreted. Rods are active.
which only can identify in low dim light, but not colors.
Yeah.
That's a very suitable rhyme. Give the name. Now this is a good one. A is what?
Semicircular canals. Circular canal.
Semicircular.
The utriculus.
And C is
B saculus.
Saculus.
Cochlea.
Cochlea.
Name the part of the ear responsible for transmitting
Auditory nerve. Auditory nerve.
Auditory.
No, sir.
Oh, sir, organ of body. Organ of
Organ of
Ear responsible for transmitting impulse to the brain.
No, here it is auditory nerve because
Auditory nerve is the right
Here it is
answer.
auditory nerve.
Yeah.
It is not to the.
If it's
not
vibration, two
vibration.
impulses then.
Inner ear.
Okay.
So here we have to be careful in reading the question at least 2 times before we give into whether organ of body or we talk about auditory nerve. Okay.
Yes,
So be careful
sir.
reading that. Okay.
Answer. Sir,
Yeah.
the answer for this would be auditory nerve.
Yes, it is auditory nerve because it goes directly to the brain. No?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Name the part ABC that we already did. Name the fluid present in A.
Endolymph.
Endolymph.
Wonderful. Okay. Yeah, differentiate between exocrine and endocrine gland. This is one of the questions that can be asked.
Exocrine.
have a duct gland. Exocrines are duct gland and endocrines are ductless gland.
Well, endocrine do not.
One
have-
example from
Ductless gland.
Ductless gland. Endocrine glands.
Endocrine glands are ductless glands.
Yeah.
So, can you tell that I am correct in here that exocrine release enzymes and endocrine release hormone? Is this correct or not?
Yes. Most of
It
your
is correct.
exocrine are having enzymes.
Endocrine also.
Exocrine have
Exocrine are enzyme.
Correct. And endocrine are hormones.
Okay, sir.
Which one is the birth hormone?
Oxytocin.
Reason?
It helps the uterus
Contraction of uterus during
Very
childbirth.
good. Contraction. Be very perfect with your answers over there.
Precise. Stimulates the
So the second answer.
Yes, Harsh, you want to answer?
So the second answer.
Second answer, yes. Dim light wala.
Synaptic left and synapse.
Pardon?
What is the difference
Synaptic.
between
Synapse is a point of there is a gap between.
Gap. The gap is the cleft. Gap is the cleft.
Yeah, synaptic cleft. And synapse is a point of contact.
Contact.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Actually, sir, it's a chemical process. No?
It is a chemical. Can you tell me the which is the chemical which is
Acetylcholine. Acetylcholine.
Choline.
Right. Acetylcholine is the right answer. All right. Mention the location of the function myelin sheath.
Sir?
Yes.
Located around the axon. Located around the axon.
Okay. Located around the axon. Pinna.
It's the outermost layer of
Outermost
the
ear of the ear.
part of the ear.
Outermost part of the ear.
Or the outermost projection of the ear.
Okay.
Cartilaginous
Thyroid secreting.
muscles of
Thyroid stimulating hormone.
Very good.
Peripheral nervous system.
Peripheral nervous system. Okay.
Sir,
need
do
to
we need
draw the-
practicing diagrams, drawing
Yes,
diagrams?
please transfer. Yeah, this is the diagram of the spinal cord, which you can be asked to label these parts. Okay. Just in case.
spinal cord diagram.
Spinal cord diagram.
It's hard to draw that.
Yeah, you need to practice. See, when you draw it, no, your labeling also becomes perfect. It's not a difficult diagram. It's not a difficult diagram. You only know to draw this part. It's just a very simple butterfly shaped diagram.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, for the function of pinna, we can write it receives the auditory, it receives the sound waves.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Sir,
So this is the
can I
diagram
come
base.
for drawing?
Pardon?
Can I come for drawing?
Not such big diagrams. That is a huge diagram to draw in for eye. This is a small diagram.
Sir, even ear cannot come for drawing, right?
No ear, no eye, no brain. Definitely not. It's such
No
a
heart. According
No
to
heart.
time management,
No heart.
diagrams
No
will
heart.
come, no?
So you can expect the Malpighian capsule. You can expect this
Neuron.
neuron. You can expect the spinal cord. You can expect the kidney. Just a simple kidney part, just to show the Malpighian renal capsule, the renal pyramid.
So we also get the questions on labeling now, that the diagram is given and we have to label that.
Yes. The diagram is given. You can also be asked to redraw it, so you can copy that same thing.
So
yes.
So I solved one question that eosinophils are dash in nature. Options are neutral, amoebotic, acidic, or basic.
Eosinophils. You're talking about eosinophils, right?
Yeah.
Eosinophils are basically helping, and it has a secretive function. So engulfing bacteria. That's the main
So
function.
sir, they are acidic or basic?
What is acidic and basic, you're saying?
Acidic or basic in nature? The question is, eosinophils are
How
dash
will
in
you tell it
nature.
is acidic or basic in nature? They are basically
Yes, sir. Sir, I also thought that, but there was a question. So,
you
sir,
can say whether they are the nucleus can be stained. Okay, staining of the nucleus with an acidic or a
That
basic.
means this type of question will not come.
No, it is not related to acidic or basic.
Okay,
So
sir.
you can either say eosinophils are normally released during allergic reaction. That can be a part of it. Okay, related to allergy, you will have eosinophil. When we talk about lobes, we can have eosinophil, but not acidic and basic. Okay.
And sir, I have one more question.
Yeah.
Name the process of surgical removal of pituitary gland.
In the process.
Yes, sir. I saw a question like this.
We are not giving that.
No. We are not. They are not going.
It is
into
not in the
surgical
syllabus,
removal.
no?
It is not.
Yeah, this
No.
Yeah.
11, 12.
Yes. Let's start with this. Hormones, pancreas.
Functional mining sheet.
Insulin.
Pancreas lowering the blood sugar level. Insulin. Adrenal gland.
Adrenaline.
Adrenaline. Thyroid, thyroxine.
Basal
metabolic. Insulin, adrenaline, and basic
metabolism.
Okay, now look very carefully. We have the diabetes insipidus and diabetes mellitus.
Diabetes insipidus is caused due to the deficiency of ADH, and diabetes mellitus is caused due to the deficiency of insulin.
Wonderful. Only 2 points, 2 differences. One more difference.
Diabetes insipidus.
Diabetes insipidus contains no sugar in the urine. Diabetes mellitus contains glucose in the urine.
Very good. Reflex action to draw and label.
Reflex action is autonomic.
Reflex action is an immediate, quick response
autonomic,
to
quick
response in the body brought about by a stimulus.
By the stimulus.
Very good. Look at the diagram of the heart. Okay, and which phase is this?
Ventricular systole.
Ventricular systole. Very good. Now, in that, label the parts 1 to 4. Who's going to?
1 is pulmonary artery.
Okay,
2 is aorta.
2 is aorta. 3 is
3 is bicuspid valve.
And 4 is
Aortic semilunar valve. 5th is pulmonary semilunar valve.
And 5 is
pulmonary semilunar valve.
Pulmonary semilunar valve. Very good. What type of blood?
What is the 4th?
4th is aortic.
Oxygenated blood flows through. Oxygenated blood.
That's the aorta. Say the function of 5.
Prevents the back section of blood from pulmonary artery to right ventricle.
To the right ventricle, yes. Now,
Sir,
yes.
Sir, do we need to practice drawing diagrams?
No, not of the heart. Not of the heart. Okay. But yes, you need to practice the blood smear, that is red blood cell, WBC, and platelets to draw. That has been asked one time, to draw a blood smear showing the different cells inside. Okay, just in case. What is a lacrimal gland?
Also called as a tear gland.
Okay.
Pineal gland is also called as tear gland, which secretes tears.
Difference between yellow spot and
Yellow spot
is
contains
actually
sensory cells, and blind spot do not contain any sensory cells.
Wonderful. Name the old age eye defect.
Presbyopia.
Presbyopia. Why it is caused?
Because of the lens has loses its flexibility.
Because of the lens is too
Loses
curved.
its flexibility.
Okay, very good. So you can see the answers also mentioned over here with regards to that. So we have the semilunar valve, okay, lacrimal gland, yellow spot, presbyopia, lens loses its flexibility. Cool, wonderful. Okay, let's move on to the next part, that is the kidney. The two difference between bicuspid and tricuspid.
Bicuspid valve is located between the left atrium and left ventricle. Tricuspid valve is located between right atrium and right ventricle.
Very good.
Bicuspid valve is
Bicuspid valve
also called as mitral valve. Or right
bicuspid valve prevents the backflow from left ventricle to right ventricle. Tricuspid valve.
You can talk about the blood flow over here.
Deoxygenated
Right
blood.
atrioventricular valve, tricuspid valve is also called as right atrioventricular valve, and bicuspid is also called as
left
atrium. It's
But
also
that's
different.
another name it is. You have to give it in terms of function also. You can say what flows from which section through these valves. Okay. Explain pulmonary and systemic circulation.
Pulmonary is related
Pulmonary
to the
circulation is the circulation from the heart to the lungs.
Very good. And systemic is
from the heart to the whole body.
Body and body to the heart. Okay, great. Diagrams. Yeah, this very simple diagram for the kidney can be asked as diagram also.
Urine flows through part 4.
Part 4. What is the 4
Urine.
No. What is the part 4 called?
Ureter.
What is it called?
Pelvis.
What is 2 called?
Renal column.
Medulla.
Renal medulla, and 1 called
cortex. Renal cortex.
The striped appearance of part 2 is found in which
Due
part?
to the presence of pyramids.
Conical pyramids.
Due to the presence of pyramid.
Conical pyramids.
And what is the conical pyramid made up of?
Made up of
papillae.
Papillae.
No. It is you need to talk about loop of Henle and the collecting duct.
Okay.
That is the striped appearance of that. Okay. Yeah.
So
the
Dotted appearance is because
of the PCT, DCT.
Nephron.
Okay. Show the following structure of the diagram: renal artery, kidney, and ureter. So you have to show the following structure in the diagram wherever it is. Okay, great. Okay, so this is the diagram base that you need to just show that you can draw. It's a very simple one. They won't ask you too complicated diagram. Not the nephron or anything. Only the malfeasance.
Pincer muscles.
Okay.
Explain the.
Okay. Explain the significance of the hepatic portal system.
Helps in
detoxification and filtration or storage of extra glucose.
Very good. Okay,
filtration of the blood
where it is located
from the liver.
It's located. Hepatic portal vein is located in the liver.
Below, it is going towards the liver, right?
Liver, from intestine to liver.
From the digestive
Stomach and intestine to the liver.
Stomach, intestine to the liver. All hormones are chemical signals. Justify.
because they stimulate the
because they are produced somewhere and they act.
Okay. Why do
because they have their chemical compositions.
Okay. And something more? No.
No, sir. Can you please answer it?
Okay.
Because they are chemical substances that send messages.
So we seen the properties of the hormone, right? Some are peptides, some are amides, some are steroid. So basically, they all regulate. They all regulate your other processes, all your physiological processes in the body. So through chemical processes. So regulating the metabolism, bringing changes due to chemical changes due to metabolic process. That's why they are called chemical signals.
Sir, what is ossification?
Ossification is hardening of the bone.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, it talks in terms of bones. Ossification. Okay. Ossification of bone. Which hormone you think it will be? Growth hormone. Yes. See, there are two questions which arises over here. So when we are looking at thyroxine, thyroxine also is helpful in the growth. If you look at cretinism, is a defect due to thyroxine. So I think thyroxine also can help in the growth of the child.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here we are talking of ossification of the bone, the hardening of the bone. Okay. So it's a growth hormone. Elongation of the bones is a growth hormone. Okay, conversion of glycogen to glucose.
Glucagon.
Glucagon. Increase blood supply to
Adrenaline.
very good. Blood flow at high pressure in arteries.
Blood flow is at a high pressure artery because of narrow lumen.
Very good. And arteries do not collapse when empty or do not collapse when empty or cut across.
Because
Very
blood
good.
platelets
Okay,
soon
now this is
becomes a
very
clot.
good question. With regards to, you should know all the three membranes of the arteries and vein. The tunica externa, tunica
Epidermis.
media, and tunica
Interna.
interna. So all the three layers of the arteries. That diagram is important. I put across over here the diagram. I'll show you all. Difference between choroid and sclerotic layer of the eye.
So the previous answer.
Choroid is the
Sclerotic.
Okay, yeah. Arteries do not collapse. Yeah.
Right is the middle. Sir, can you
use colors in the
scroll down?
diagram?
Sir, can you scroll down?
Yeah.
So can you use color pencil in the diagram?
Sclerotic layer is the outermost layer of the eye, and choroid layer is the middle layer of the eye.
Yes, yeah.
Sclera is the top. Choroid is the second.
Middle layer.
Middle layer, correct. And anything with regards to blood vessels and
choroid are
So
actually
sclerotic layer do not contain any blood vessel.
with the blood.
Choroid layer contains blood vessels
Which provide nourishment to the eye.
and also nourishment to the eye.
yes section of the spinal cord is asked again.
Alongside the human body.
Okay.
Thyroid gland.
Thyroid gland. It is present in the neck, front part of the neck.
First is larynx, second is thyroid, and third is
In the structure number 1.
Yes.
First
that's
is larynx.
Yeah. Larynx.
Second is thyroxine. Third is brach.
Third is what?
Trachea.
Trachea. First is trachea.
Okay, so basically you are looking at the various
Data
choroid in
important.
this thing. Yeah, choroid is the second layer and sclera is the first layer. With regards to the spinal cord, this diagram very much commonly asked. Yes.
Color pencil in the diagrams.
You don't need to color. You can just use a normal pencil and just sketch it gray inside. Just shade of gray. Okay. Larynx, thyroid, and trachea. Larynx, voice box. Thyroid, basic metabolism. Functions of each. Trachea is a windpipe.
So the first answer.
Okay, sir, windpipe.
Okay. 16. What is dark adaptation?
To show the first answer.
Sclerotic layer protect the eye from mechanical injuries. It is the outermost layer. And
When-
choroid is the second layer.
Sir, can I explain the
the
dark
dark-
adaptation?
The dark
When we,
adaptation.
Concise.
when we go from bright light area to dark light area,
Okay.
it takes a bit time to generate rhodopsin,
Okay.
and that when the rhodopsin is generated, and the adaptation is known as dark adaptation.
Okay. Adapting to a dark
And
situation.
dilation of
Yeah.
the pupil of the eye.
What is the reason of it? Dilation of the pupil.
Increase the amount of light entering.
Regeneration of rhodophysin.
Okay.
Rhodopsin.
Oh,
Sir,
rhodopsin
the
also
dark-
called as visual
Visual
or violet.
violet.
Visual visual purple.
Visual purple.
Visual purple is rhodopsin.
Purple, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Sir, the dark adaptation, there is no specific definition given in the concise. They are also given as an
They
example
have
of
given
cinema.
light adaptation. They have given dark adaptation. If you go on to your textbook,
Yeah,
they have
sir.
given dark and light adaptation. Basically, the slow vision improvement whenever
Yeah.
it's in the dark. So
They are given the example of cinema hall.
correct. That's
Yeah,
correct.
that only I said. When we
Yes.
go
Yeah.
from bright light area to dark area,
Visual
it
purple or
takes
rhodopsin.
time to in the regeneration of rhodopsin or the visual purple. The adaptation in the dark environment is known as dark adaptation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so basically your pupil will not immediately focus on to getting the bright light. So it is a pupil also which helps you in your adaptation. How much intensity of the light should enter into your eye, or it should contact and restrain the entering of light into your eye. Name the lobe of the pituitary gland that secrete oxytocin.
Posterior.
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 ACTH and ACTH, anterior.
Anterior. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Correct. And this is the diagram of the ear. Okay. We know all the labelings of the part of ear. Let's start with one.
Stirrup. Steps.
Okay.
2 is semicircular canal.
Semicircular canal.
3 is
3 is auditory nerve. 4 is
Cochlea.
cochlea.
5 is eustachian tube.
Okay.
7th is
Tympani.
eardrum or tympanic membrane.
And
8 is spina.
Pinna.
Pinna.
All right.
Auricle.
What is the function of 2 and 3? 2 and 3.
2 and 3. 2 helps in dynamic
Very
equilibrium.
good.
Semicircular canal. And it converts
Auditory
impulses.
nerves takes
Converts
the
impulses to brain.
impulses from
Transport.
organ of corti to the brain.
Okay. This is a hot table. Always these type of table will be asked in endocrine system topic. So 1 testosterone dash. I think testosterone is not there.
In the syllabus, not
It
in the
is
syllabus.
mentioned in your table. If you notice in your table of your endocrine system, they have
It is
mentioned
given.
testosterone.
But it's not in the syllabus.
Yeah, it is
So
not.
we can learn one. Maybe it can be asked.
Sir, but it's not in the syllabus.
It's not in the syllabus. Ignore.
Not
Okay,
there.
I can change
Not
that.
ignore.
Okay.
In chemistry also, some question was out of
Out of
syllabus.
scope, right? Yeah, it's okay.
Like
Yeah.
this part now, brown ring test.
Yeah.
Adrenaline.
It was there. It was there in specific.
Adrenaline. Here is 3.
Some questions was there. Function of fear,
Flight and
flight, and
It helped to
Fight
fight
and
and
flight. Thyroid. Thyroid.
thyroxine.
Thyroxine. Lacrimal tears is
lubricate the eyes.
and
Lubricate the eyes. It actually kill the,
Flushing
destroy
out
the
of
germs.
correct.
It communicate the emotions.
Pituitary hormone.
Growth hormone function.
Helps in the growing of
Giantism,
bones.
dwarfism
Growing of
of
bones.
bones.
Okay, effect on the height. Okay, great. So you can see gonads. Okay, production of sperms, test increase heart rate, thyroxine,
Body growth.
lubrication, and body growth. Yeah. Okay. Difference between adrenaline and thyroxine.
Adrenaline is released from adrenal glands and thyroxine is released from thyroid gland.
Okay.
Adrenaline helps in the helps to fight from
Fight and flight.
Fight
in
and
the
flight hormone.
in the
And thyroxine.
situation of fight, fear,
Axle
and
metabolic.
flight. And thyroxine helps in the basal to maintain the basal metabolic rate.
Yeah. What's the difference between location of gray matter in the brain and spinal
A
cord?
gray matter in the outer side in the brain and in the inner side in the spinal cord.
Very good. What is the gray matter consisting of?
Cytons.
Cytons.
What is the importance of convolution of the gray matter?
It increase the surface area, which
And the number of
nucleus,
neurons.
the
Number of
potential.
neutrons.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the form of gyrian
Structure of the
sulfate.
heart.
Yeah.
Look at the structure of the heart. This is the external
Yeah.
structure given.
First one
Number
is
one is-
aorta.
Outer.
Second one is coronary
artery.
Very good. Number 3.
Third one
Is
is
superior, inferior. No.
no sir.
Branch of aorta. Dorsal aorta.
Dorsal aorta. So I am not confirm of the third part.
Third one.
Okay,
Fourth one is
Fourth is inferior vena cava. And
Fifth one is
pulmonary vein. Pulmonary artery.
Pulmonary artery. Correct.
Artery.
So it is a branches.
Yes,
If
sir.
I put over here, this particular part is a pulmonary trunk, which then bifurcates into left and right pulmonary artery. Okay.
So what is the 3 one?
Number 3 is it's your part
Dorsal.
which enters into the left side of the heart.
Dorsal aorta.
no, it is not aorta. I think so.
Yeah, no.
Dorsal
Dorsal aorta.
It's iota only.
So can you please tell the answer, correct answer?
Yeah. So basically, your number 3 is your dorsal aorta is right.
Dorsal
It is the
aorta,
entry
okay.
down, going down. Okay. Give the function of the following organ of corti.
Helps in the transmission of vibration in the form of nerve impulse.
Very good.
Yeah.
Eustachian tube.
It actually
Equalizes
equalizing the pressure on
in
either
the
side
both
of the
sides of the eardrum.
Good.
Vestibule.
Vestibule help in the dynamic. It's a static
equilibrium.
Vestibule.
Static balance.
Very good. Very good. So basically, organ of contact, air cells. Then we have equalizing blood pressure. I did not put the last one. Vestibules. Okay. Pardon?
What is a ganglion?
I can't get you.
Ganglion
Ganglion
is the aggregate
or
of
the
the nerve
bunch
impulse and
of
or the collection of cell bodies.
Very
Yeah.
good.
From
Collection
where
of
nerves
the fibers may arise
nerve
or enter.
fibers arise.
May
Nerve
arise
fibers.
or enter.
Can we write eustachian tube connects the ear to the throat?
It is a connection point, but the question was
cavity,
asked over here. Function of it
The
is
main
not the
function is the
It is not a connection. Is not a function. It's just a connection you're talking about.
It actually equalizing the pressure.
Equalizing pressure.
Pressure on either side of the ear.
Answer. Okay. Mention two
Gray matter
differences between
consists of
plasma.
cell body or
Plasma.
Gray
Plasma
matter.
contains fibrinogen
fiber and serum is the blood without fibrinogen.
plasma
Very
without
good.
fibrogen is known as serum.
Correct.
And plasma contains. So second one I don't know. Only I know
Okay.
one.
So this
Can
one
you tell
question
the
can be asked, which is the substance present inside the blood that helps in clotting process. Substance, protein substance. Protein substance present in the blood that helps in clotting.
Prothrombin.
Prothrombin or prothrombin. I sure. Or fibrinogen.
Fibrinogen.
Yes.
Yeah,
Prothrombin is
fibrinogen.
not it's not a protein structure. It's an enzyme. The thrombokinase is an enzyme. Okay, yeah.
So can you please tell the one more point for the difference as it is asked here? Two differences.
Yeah. So
One
first,
is the fibrinogen one, and second
correct.
one.
Plasma will have all your nutrients inside, and in serum.
No
Pure white liquid.
Yeah. So your one is the deficiency. One is a deficiency. Yeah. So you can put these parts, color. Okay. Second, you can put composition, serum, and one is having the clotting factor. One do not have clotting factor, and contain fibrinogen, lack fibrinogen. Acquire centrifugation blood with anticoagulant. Acquired by centrifugation of blood with coagulant blood. Okay, how you can acquire them also.
So can we write the first, second, and fourth point?
Yes. Why not? We can write first, second, and fourth part also.
Sir, gray matter consists of axon or cyton?
Cyton.
Okay. Lead label diagram of
Can it come to draw the internal structure of the heart?
No internal structure of the heart. Okay, state one function of each of the part. Collecting tube.
Collection of the urine.
Collection of urine.
Loop of Henle.
Loop of Henle in the absorption of water and minerals.
Absorption water and
potassium.
Yeah. Renal vein.
Yeah, it is deoxygenated blood.
Deoxygenated blood from
Carrying
kidney.
the deoxygenated blood. Loop of Henle, PCD. Okay. Why does the blood inside a blood vessel not clot?
Of the anticoagulant heparin.
No. So natural anticoagulant is not heparin.
No, we have a naturally anticoagulant.
Because hemoglobin do not make a unstable compound.
So please tell the answer of that.
Yeah. We know
Blood
that
test.
heparin is a natural natural anticoagulant, right?
Okay.
So That's why it doesn't clot. Okay, and most of you, if you
Is
notice,
it possible that's because the blood doesn't go over a rough surface or something?
Because all the oxygen is blood is already bound to hemoglobin, it can't interact with fibrinogen, thus cannot create a clot. So here it is
there's
given this.
another way. There are two ways of understanding this.
Okay.
Okay, and also if there is a clot in a body, and that can be removed by the body by a natural by a natural coagulant. Justify the following statement: older people tend to feel more cold.
Due to less metabolic rate.
Okay, due to less metabolic activity in the older people.
Yeah, or
okay. Okay, let's see that urine excreted out.
Sir, can you
Sir,
please
there's
show
some-
the answer by you given in that?
Yeah, I'll give the answer. We'll give you the second one. Urine excreted out is slightly thicker
Because
in
in
summer.
summer we
Yeah,
lose
because
lot
in
of
Lose a large amount of water
usually
through
lost
respiration,
amount
netting,
first
and the
water
kidney have to
content
absorb water,
and then
more water from urine, which make it concentrate.
Very good.
Sir, can we write the sweat one? That we lose a lot of sweat, so the urine is thicker.
But we have to also the mention that the kidney
Mention-
have to
Yeah,
absorb water.
Mentioning is more with regards to kidney.
Yeah.
Okay, name the three hormones secreted by the
Anterior lobe of the pituitary gland.
Growth hormone.
Growth hormone.
Follicle
TSH hormone.
thyroid stimulating hormone.
Very good.
Pubic hormone.
Diagram of the blood smear and showing the cells. Okay. Okay, now with regards to that, function of the thyroid gland slows down with regards to it, with the metabolic activity also lowers down, which results in lowering the body heat production. Thyroid gland. Okay. In summer, loss of it due to compensated loss, nephron in the kidney reabsorb water efficiently. That's why leading to the concentrated urine, and it becomes a little thicker. ACTH, stimulation, LH, whichever, TSH, yes, you can put any of these hormones, tropic hormones. Blood smear showing RBC, showing plasma, showing few platelets, and showing some WBCs, amoeboid in shape. And we can.
But in a platelet, the platelet does not contain nucleus. And in diagram, it is containing nucleus.
Platelets do not contain nucleus. You can just draw the platelet. Okay. Yeah, very important type of question. This is the structure of the arteries, veins, and capillary. Okay, if you notice over here, flow chart first of the reflex response. Bell diagram of a vestibular apparatus. Oh, that's another one.
So vestibular apparatus in that cochlea.
Yes, all the three parts.
Yeah, semicircular canals.
Yeah, this is your reflex arc. Okay, effector, spinal cord, receptor, stimulus,
The
sensor.
diagrammatic representation is excluded from this.
Yeah, you just a flow chart. Flow chart. Okay. Can you tell me what is 1, 2, and 3? Tunica.
Vein and capillary.
Vena.
No, lumen, media.
Media.
Is the connective tissue?
These are your blood vessels. A is artery, B is
vein, and C is capillaries. So one is a connective tissue, no?
One is the outer layer, right?
Yeah, so connective tissue. Some books they have mentioned
connective
tissue.
Connective tissue is
tissue.
tunica media.
Yeah, but
the second one is lumen.
Lumen.
Again, lumen. And third is muscular walls.
Muscular walls.
We can also say that tunica media.
So what is
you have to,
endothelium then?
Yeah, it's also correct. It's a biological term for that.
Yeah, just biological term. You all have used the scientific term. Well and good. Very nice. So that's give you an upper hand also with regards to when you're giving me all the external layer, middle layer. You're giving me the scientific term. Very nice. Okay. Let's see. Write the effect of the following on the human being. Hyposecretion of insulin.
Diabetes
Diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus.
Hyposecretion of thyroxine.
Exophthalmic
Exophthalmic goiter. Exophthalmic goiter.
Growth.
Gigantism.
Gigantism.
Not
Acromegaly.
given in adult or child. It is a general
gigantism,
understanding.
sir.
Gigantism. So this is a vestibular apparatus. You need to draw just in case. Okay, the utriculus, the ampulla. Just show the ampulla at the ending of the. Yes.
So hypersecretion of growth hormone can be acromegaly also.
That
no?
is in adults. So in normal situation, it is gigantism.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. There's few more questions on the board. Just 5 more
So
questions.
if we write both, then it will be also be correct, no?
Yeah, you can put slash. You can put this because both are the hypersecretion in of growth hormone in adults and in child.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, name the hormone produced by thyroid gland and its one function.
Thyroxine and maintains basal metabolism.
Thyroxine regulates basal
Function of
metabolism.
blood plasma.
Helps in the clotting of
Coagulation
blood.
process.
Clotting of
Coagulation
blood.
process.
Okay, clotting
And
process.
second function.
Transportation, right?
Transportation.
Or excretion. We have so many functions are there. Okay, so basically transporting all minerals and all. Yeah. This is a diagram of the heart. Here there is no phase given. It's just a simple diagram labeling the various parts.
One is aorta.
Aorta.
Two is pulmonary. Artery.
Two is pulmonary.
Artery. And this is third is superior vena.
Is superior vena cava.
3 layers of the meninges.
Meninges.
Is meninges is one is known as
Dura mater, pia mater, and arachnoid. Dura mater, pia mater, and arachnoid.
Arachnoid. Are you going to put it in the same sequence? What comes the first? Outer one is
dura mater.
Outer one is dura mater. Middle one is arachnoid, and last one is pia mater.
So be very careful with the top, middle, and the last layer.
Yes.
So they can be asked also which is the middle layer, which is the lower layer, which is the top layer. So just in case, just be that careful. Function of the cerebrospinal fluid.
Acts as a cushion for blood. Acts as a cushion for brain and absorbs shock. Absorbs
It is
shock.
present between the double. It is present between the
It is
membranes.
present between the meninges.
membranes.
Very good. Very good.
It's
So
And
functioning
absorbs
to act
shocks.
mechanical,
And act like a
from
cushion.
mechanical shocks.
mechanical
Absorbs.
shocks. Okay, very nice. So yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's the apt answer with regards to the meninges. Okay.
Adrenocorticotropic hormone.
Yes. ACTH,
Adrenocorticotropic hormone.
Adrenocorticotropic hormone.
Follicle
Stimulating hormone. Follicle stimulating hormone.
LH.
Luteinizing hormone.
Very good.
hormone.
Very good.
Hyperopia.
Okay. This is a problem defect of
Hyperopia.
Hyperopia.
Scientific term hyper. Okay. And mention the one possible reason for this.
The lens is too flat. The lens is too flat. The lens is too
The
flat.
eyeball is too shortening.
And the
And the eyeball is too shortened. Eyeball is too shortened. And the lens is too flat.
So when we are looking
convex lens. Convex
Convex
lens.
lens.
Convex lens.
at shortening of the eyeball or flattening of the lens. Okay. Convex
lens. Convex lens.
lens. Correct. Okay. Okay. Very good. Very good. Draw a neat label diagram of the human eye. This is just a question which I found, and they have given you like name the following. So ignore the structure of the eye. They can also tell you, they will copy the eye diagram over there and label the following parts. So they may give you an eye diagram already given to you. Okay. And then ask you to label only these parts which is mentioned as name the following. Okay. Photosensitive layer of the eye.
Retina.
Structure responsible for holding the
Vitreous humor. Vitreous.
Suspensory
Ciliary body.
Ciliary
body. Ciliary body.
Holding the lens is ciliary body or suspensory ligament?
Suspensory ligament. Suspensory ligament.
Suspensory ligament.
Shape of the eyeball.
Vitreous humor.
Anterior chamber.
Aqueous humor.
The most transparent layer of the eyeball.
Conjunctiva.
area devoid of photoreceptor.
Blind spot.
Blind spot.
Wonderful. Lymphocyte and neutrophil structure.
Lymphocytes, has nucleus.
Lymphocytes, there is no.
Lymphocytes, there is no nucleus. Neutrophils contains nucleus which have 3 to 4 lobes.
Okay. One is single, one is lymphocytes.
Which do not contain nucleus.
Okay, large nucleus. You can also talk in terms of granulocytes or agranulocytes. Okay,
But
so
they are specific the structure of the nucleus. Na?
So it is structure of the nucleus only. Very good. Yes.
Sir, can lymphocytes be stained?
Pardon?
Can lymphocytes be stained with any dye or something?
Yes, yes. All nucleus can be stained by methylene blue or some acidic dye.
Okay, sir.
Simple goiter and exothermic goiter based on disorder.
Simple goiter is caused due to deficiency of iodine.
Deficiency or hyposecretion.
Deficiency of thyroxine and exothermic goiter is caused due to the oversecretion of thyroxine.
Very good. Exact location of myelin sheath. Okay, that's also asked very much commonly.
Around the axon.
There's the outer part of the ear.
This diagram
Outer
is
part.
very much asked
In the middle ears
System.
after the incus.
Correct.
One
Study
is
this diagram. Okay.
Pulmonary vein.
Okay. Number one is
pulmonary vein.
4, 5, 6, 7.
2 is hepatic artery.
Pulmonary
2 is
vein
hepatic
one.
heart.
Number 2.
Hepatic artery.
Hepatic. No, it's not
Number
hepatic.
2.
It's aorta. Aorta.
Aorta.
Okay.
No, sir.
No, it's not. Number
Hepatic
3 is
vein.
the hepatic portal vein.
HPV.
There is
Correct.
nothing
Hepatic
from
portal
the-
vein. Number 4.
It's been the
Renal artery.
Renal artery. Number
Renal
5.
artery. Renal
renal
vein.
vein.
Number
Renal
6.
vein.
Hepatic vein.
Hepatic
vein.
Hepatic vein.
Posterior
Is
vein.
inferior vena cava.
Inferior, from the lower part of the inferior.
The posterior vena.
Yeah, posterior vena cava. Correct. Okay. Name the blood vessels supplying blood to the walls of the heart.
Coronary artery.
Coronary artery.
Okay, let me ask you some question with regard. Okay, one more thing. Which is the vitamin which is helping in for the production of prothrombin?
Vitamin K. Vitamin K.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Which is also called as a pacemaker.
Sinoatrial node.
Location of the sinoatrial node.
Within the ventricles at the flaps of bicuspid and tricuspid wall. Within the ventricles.
In the wall of the right auricle. In the wall of the right auricle. And the ventricular valve.
The interauricular septum.
AV node. AV node in the
at the opening of the superior vena cava.
Great. All right. With regards to this helper diagram, bring out two structural difference between 2 and 7. What is 2? Aorta.
It has a narrow lumen, and 7 it has a wider lumen.
Differentiating between artery and vein.
Yes, sir. Arteries have narrow lumen, and vein have a wider lumen.
Okay.
Arteries do not contain
carry
valves.
oxygenated blood away from the heart, and vein bring deoxygenated blood to the heart.
In the
But sir,
cross section,
structural
it would be
difference.
wider lumen, and the wider
Veins
lumen in the
and
vein.
arteries will be narrow lumen. Narrow lumen.
Valves, because they are doing the
Narrow lumen and thin.
And
thicker walls.
there's so many differences.
Okay, which one? What is the term used for the deadening of the heart muscles?
Myocardial infection.
Myocardial infarction. All right, infarction. And chest pain we already did.
Angina
Angina pectoris.
What is the cause of angina pectoris?
Deadening of coronary artery. Deadening of coronary artery. Deadening of coronary artery.
Coronary veins, basically, you're actually not having blood, insufficient supply of blood to the heart muscles.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Okay. One more nephron diagram. Okay. Label
one is a collecting duct.
Collecting duct.
One is a collecting duct.
Collecting duct.
Two is the distal convoluted
DCT
distal
is loop of
Henle. 4 is
Four is
Bowman's
Bowman's
capsule.
capsule.
Bowman's capsule, and 5
Five
is
is
Renal is the renal artery. Renal artery.
Very good. Renal
No, sir.
artery, 6
Renal
is
artery.
renal vein.
Yeah,
Renal vein.
Okay, don't use efferent and afferent. There is nothing efferent and afferent over here. Okay, great. State the reason reason for the hydrostatic pressure in the balloon.
Afferent arteriole is narrower than afferent arteriole.
Very good.
Efferent arteriole is narrower than afferent arteriole.
Great. What is the cause of hydrostatic pressure in the glomerulus?
Efferent arteriole is narrower than afferent arteriole.
Wider than the afferent arteriole is wider than the efferent arteriole. That creates a hydrostatic pressure
Very
and
good.
helps in the filtration of the blood.
What is the secondary capillary called?
Vasa recta.
What is the function of vasa recta?
That I don't know, sir.
Come on.
We don't know, sir.
Vasa recta is
Transportation, no, sir.
if you notice over here, the
transmission of
secondary
gases.
capillaries are all wrapped out or on the nephron.
Transmission of gases.
Yeah, so basically it is just helping in the reabsorption process. Okay. It's only helping in the reabsorption process over the PCT, loop of Henle, and DCT. That's your vasa recta. Secondary network capillaries, which is surrounding the renal tubule and joins to form the vein. This is all the renal tubule. Okay. Biological reason for the statement: we cannot distinguish between colors in the moonlight. That's already told. Renal cortex appeared dotted, while the renal medulla appeared
Due
striped.
to Bowman's capsule and medulla due to the PCT and DCT.
Not only Bowman's capsule, you need to say PCT, DCT, that is the dotted.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And here we
The
have
medulla contains loop of Henle and collecting duct. Loop of Henle and collecting duct.
Mature RBC lack nucleus and an endoplasmic reticulum.
To provide the large surface
To provide the large surface area for the absorption of oxygen and endoplasmic reticulum to reduce the flex to increase the flexibility.
Eustachian tube and organ of Corti. Okay, difference between rods and cones pigment.
Rhodopsin and cone cells iodopsin.
Corpus callosum and pons varioly function.
Corpus callosum, it is present between the cerebral hemisphere. Bonds between the cerebellum.
They are asking function now.
Pons varioly connects the two cerebellum.
Cerebral and coordinate muscular activities on both sides.
Dynamic balance and static balance. Structure involved.
Dynamic balance, nucleus and
semicircular, yeah.
Dynamic.
Semicircular canals. And static balance, uculus and sacculus.
Utriculus and stachylus.
Utriculus and sacculus.
Correct. Great. Again, the structure of the cell. Okay, here it's given. You have to only label the parts. Is
RBCs. B is WBCs and C is platelets.
Difference between A and B, they have asked, very much similar again. Characteristics between B and enable it to carry out its function. What is B? WBC.
Is a WBC.
You need to only tell in terms of function.
It defensive function.
Correct. Absolutely.
Phagocytosis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Phagocytosis, inflammation, antibodies.
Okay. Antibody B and antibody A presence in which blood group?
Antibody B is present in no auto. They are in antibody B is present in blood group A. And antibody A
Group B.
Blood group B. Correct. So A blood group and B. Efferent arteriole and afferent arteriole formation.
Efferent arteriole is the division of the renal artery, and the efferent arteriole is formed by the unity of glomerulus.
Okay. Diabetes again the same thing. Composition.
So post concentration is diabetes mellitus is high and diabetes insipidus is very zero.
I need 3 activities of sympathetic and parasympathetic.
3 activities, but in our book they have given only 1 activity.
Heartbeat.
No, they have mentioned.
No, sir. Accelerates heartbeat and parasympathetic retards heartbeat.
Yes.
Then prepares body for action. Prepares body for relaxation.
Pupil
of the eye dilated and constricted.
Either you can be asked a question based on pupil, based on lungs, based on intestine, or based on blood vessel. So any of these three activities can be asked. You need to differentiate sympathetic and parasympathetic. What happens? If I'm talking of blood vessels, you say dilated, except for the which one does not get dilated and which one do not get constricted. Okay, so basically your coronary artery are not constricted at that time. Okay, when you're talking about adrenaline rush in the blood, basically what it does. What does adrenaline rush do?
Constricts the blood vessel.
Does it constrict or does it dilate the blood vessel?
No, sir, constricts.
Constricts. All right, except for the
Coronary arteries.
coronary artery. Okay, in terms of yeah, so you can just pick up anything: pupils, heartbeat, salivation, body, potential danger, that whatever calm your body and prepares your body. Any of these points you can put. One more of the nervous system. Last question. Major changes in the eye are trying to adapt in the dark or in the light. And list major changes when the eye is trying to adapt in the light or the dark. This is just basically you're talking about light and dark adaptation.
Yes.
Okay.
During dark, the pupils are dilated, and during light, the pupils are constricted.
Okay. And what is the release of the pigmentation? So you can talk.
During dark, the cones are active. During dark, the rods are active, and iodopsin is released. And during light, cones are active. And no, sir.
Iodopsin is released.
Iodopsin is during dark.
Correct.
At dark
during light. Correct. Yes. How is presbyopia different from myopia?
Presbyopia is mainly actually in old age people's actually. Due to because the lens loses its flexibility.
Because the lens loses flexibility.
But in myopia, the lens is actually so curved.
The lens is too curved, so the image is formed before the retina.
Yes, yes. Studying the diagram, you can label the first part, second
dorsal,
part, fourth, dorsal. First one is called
dorsal root. Dorsal root.
Dorsal root.
No, first one is not a dorsal. There is no dorsal. This is the
sensory
neuron. Sensory neuron. This is the motor neuron.
Correct. And 6 is motor neuron.
Motor neuron.
What?
Dorsal ganglion.
Dorsal ganglion. The dorsal ganglion. The 5th is
gray matter. Gray matter.
Gray matter.
No, it is pointing on the inner.
Associating neuron. Associating neuron.
Associating neuron. And number 3 is
white matter.
White matter.
White matter.
Name the phenomena.
Reflex action. Reflex action.
Reflex arc or reflex action.
So this is the same diagram, no sir? Look from
same
of view, right?
Give the technical term for the contact between
synapse. Synapse.
ACTH, LH, and TSH already done.
It's the adrenal gland. We have done all of that.
LH is luteinizing hormone. Okay, so basically, yep, that's it. Any other questions with regards to this? All open up. If you have any.
So the diagram which you were showing of.
Sir, can you tell me what is the function of luteinizing hormone?
So when what is the function of the luteinizing hormone, right? Okay, so luteinizing hormone, first you need to know where is the secretion, and then we go on to the function in that. Okay, so luteinizing hormone is very much related to your to the male and female glands over there. Okay, so when we're looking at the female reproductive part, we are looking at the female ovary, which produces the ovum, or we call that we call this the process of ovulation, which produces ovary, or the ovary which basically produces ovum. Okay, so when we are looking at luteinizing hormone, it helps in ovulation, that is release of the ovum in the females, and if you're looking at males, it is the testosterone production.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you can say luteinizing hormone, female very famous hormone is the progesterone. So it helps in production of progesterone, and in males it helps in production of testosterone. You can say in that way also.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Next question. And no more questions. Okay. Okay. I hope I have answered most of your questions, and You all should do very well. Please be calm. Okay. Focus. Read the question at least 3-4 times before you go on to give your final answer. And please recheck. Answer extra questions. Keep time. Answer extra question. Your best answer will be taken. Okay. So don't stick only for answering only 3 questions. If you have ample amount of time, go ahead. All right.
Yeah.
So all the best, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Sir, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye.
Thank you,
All the
sir.
best.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye,
God bless
sir.
you all. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir. Good night, sir.
It was a nice session.